Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our third episode of Geek AF. What's the AF stand for?
Always fandom.
Yes.
Is it always fandom? All fandom.
No,
How do we fuck this up every time?
All fandom.
I remember Geek all fandom. Damn it.
I think I have the OnlyFans thing for some reason.
Geek only fans. All right.
Only.
Yeah.
Geek all what it is. Okay. We need
okay. All fandom. Geek all fandom. We're gonna get it right sooner or later, right? This is the third episode, so give us a little bit of a break.
Yeah. Remember that. That's the most important part. Anyway, welcome back. This is our third episode. It's an exciting episode because we got a few things to talk about, from comics to an entire dedication of Final Fantasy, because this week, or actually coming up next week, is the release of the Final Fantasy set that's coming up for Magic the Gathering. But before that, let's check in with each other. Jake, what you been up to this week or last couple weeks?
Well, you and I went to a wedding. That was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Yep. During that time, my wonderful co-host here gifted me a package of comics. So I'm going to be using my time to catch up to open this package, because I have been waiting. I don't know what's in it. He told me once before, but I have completely forgot. So now I'm just kind of excited. I purposely put it off for this moment, for this podcast. So I'm going to do a quick review. That's going to be my catch up, man. I'm doing great. So
So this is all blind stuff. So
yes, this is a nice package. You gave it to me.
Very, very secured.
It's very secure. Yes. But he kind of threw it at me. He was like, "Here you go." All right. Oh.
Yep.
You actually did. That's very secure, dude.
That's just If I actually did shipping, I was almost gonna ship it, but then I was like, no, we're gonna see each other.
No, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. I appreciate this a lot. You not at all had to do this.
No, this is good, actually. Good practice for me, because I want to do some shipping myself. Yeah.
So this is our first comic. I know little to nothing about these, except for I believe this is the one that you were telling me is Jim Lee's first.
Well, not his first. So the Wildcat series is by Jim Lee and Brandon Troy. And the cool thing about Wildcats is it's also one of Jim Lee's bigger projects, where not only did he penciled it, like did the art and cover, but he also co-wrote it. So he did a little bit of the plotting and everything. And if you bring that comic book up again one more time.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of education. So that in particular is a special print. So if you lift it up just a little more higher on the screen, right there. So if you notice the UPC bar at the bottom left, those are considered newsstands. So there's two prints. There's the direct sales, which is like, sometimes they'll have a distribution logo, or there won't be a logo at all. And those are direct sales. They're pretty standardized. If you see a UPC code like that, that's a newsstand edition. And so for prints like that, they're usually pretty rare and hard to find. Because
so basically, you got me a very rare freaking comic, dude.
An out of print, but it's a pretty valuable book. So newsstands, if you see them, try and get them if you can. So I figured you could have that. I already have my copy. It's a direct sales, but I got Jim Lee to sign it. So
yeah, we actually went over that video on our second episode. So check that out if you haven't.
The last episode where I fumbled. Yep.
Yeah, this is the second book you got me. This is Spawn. This is a controversial cover.
Spawn number 30.
I like it. I love it. I love Spawn. I've been into Spawn since I was a child. We used to collect them a long, long time ago. I have no clue where those went. I'm pretty sure they're gone, and make me super sad. So this is awesome getting back into comics, and this is a great start, honestly. Next one up is Battle Beast. This is amazing. I love this cover. I love this cover so much, dude. I'm so excited. I did. I seen it right after the spawn. Every single time I keep looking down, seeing the next comic book, and getting more and more excited.
That's cool. Yeah, it was part of. There's also part of like the whole blind bag thing that's happening. So
Yes.
if you get the blind bag, that's one of the few covers you could get. There's like A, B, C's, and then there's ratio variants, which are more rare, and then there's like a whole other series of rare collectibles. So it's like a booster pack, but there you go.
This one, the Red Hulk. I have no idea. I know nothing about these comics right now. I'm just excited to get them.
Yeah,
I'm like a little kid, just being like, ooh, ooh. Oh
a
yes.
bunch of copies I got, and those are like
Oh
whatnot.
my gosh, dude. This is way too much, man. These are
I have
way
so
too
many
much.
duplicates of those because I went ham on a few, and I'm like, I don't know what to
Holy
do with them.
crap.
Yeah,
I know, but I was expecting, oh my god. Just a whole set of Daredevil and these.
Perseverance of Muse. Yep.
Oh my gosh, dude. These are amazing.
Yeah.
Did you? You gave me both? I got you.
Daredevil,
This is
and
amazing. I love this cover art. We can probably go into these artists and these cover artists later on in a different episode, but man, these are amazing. You and I off screen have talked about them before, and you showed me. Actually, we might have recorded a little bit of that.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. In the last episode, that one, that artist in particular, David Mack. Also, if you watched Daredevil Born Again, semi spoiler alerts, you can see his art in the show, and we've met
amazing.
him. He's a super super cool guy. Like really 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 nice dude, and pretty yoked. He's pretty jacked.
He's huge.
John Jane cover, yeah. That's the trial of White Tiger. You watch that one.
Yeah.
That's that issue.
A lot of this correlates with the show, the remake, correct? A lot of these comics.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
definitely. They capitalize. So these are special whatnot publications, because of the bags that they had, and then they had like special prints for those. So, they're kind of tapping into the media trend that's happening.
All right. And this one is the last one we got here. It is exciting. Oh my gosh.
When Daredevil and Punisher first kissed each other or something. I don't know.
You and I were going over this a little while back, and I was saying I don't like this art, but honestly, in person, it's different. In person, it's different. I do like it in person.
Yeah, it did look cartoony a bit, but
yeah, but no, like
take.
it's definitely.
Well, then
I mean,
I gotta show you the gold foil at some point.
Gold foil. I thank you again. I appreciate this. This is exciting for me. I haven't collected comics in a while, and you did not have to do this at all. And I'm dude, I love it, man.
Appreciate that. You appreciate it.
I feel like a child on Christmas. It's great.
That's what it feels like every time.
That was my catch up right there. I'm doing great, and now I'm doing even better.
Here's your check-in. Awesome. Yeah. I'm glad you got those, and I'm happy that you got it. And yeah, comics, they're awesome. I'm glad I'm getting you into the trend. Was it less? Just a bit of the books I have back here. I already picked up. I haven't read it yet, but some more Absolute series. Absolute Wonder Woman #8 came out, and so did Martian Manhunter #3.
Yes.
So I'm ready to check those out. And also, just to be ready for failure, I picked up Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars #1 through 12. Sorry, I don't mean to really mean it like that. I'm just, I just want to catch up. Just kind of get an idea, get in a sense.
No. Say it with your chest. You mean it. Don't back out now.
What happens? I'll compare. I'll be the person in the booth like, no, that's not what happened.
For
Dr.
those of you who
not
don't
make his
know,
appearance yet. No.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, he's talking about the MCU coming out with the Secret Wars movie soon, or well, in the future.
I mean, actually, we don't know which iteration they're going to go with. They're either going to go with the classic one or the recent 2015, I think, that Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Maybe a combination of both. I don't know, but let's see.
They're ruining one or another. I mean, they're doing really well with one or another. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah.
That was my catch up. How are you doing, man? Tell me what's new with you other than the comics you just showed.
Yeah. Speaking of comics, it's doing pretty good. We had the wedding. We caught up. We saw each other in person. That was last week.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
last week.
last week.
Yeah.
Oh shit. And then this weekend I helped out with my local comic shop. Check out Zeppelin Comics, located here in Benicia, California. Please show some support and check out support local comic shops. They're a small shop. They're really cool people. But this time I'm helping them get the foot on the ground with they're doing whatnot purchases, sales, auctions. So it was fun. With that experience, I got to help set up their live stream setups and kind of played salesperson in a way. I've never had any sales experience myself, so I'm going to be doing more of that with them. And also, maybe sometime in the very near future, I'll do my own little whatnot show because I got a bunch of comic books back here. But yeah, it was fun. It was a cool experience. It kind of helped me gain some confidence in their setup. So I'm like, okay, I think I could do it myself.
That's great, man. That's great.
It's fun. Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah.
As you were saying earlier, we have quite a bit of a show for you folks. Mainly focused on Final Fantasy. We do have a special guest here. It is well, I mean, you're a longtime friend. Yeah. And I'll let you introduce him.
Absolutely. So Final Fantasy, Magic the Gathering, MTG, that's coming up. The set's coming up real soon. Officially on the 13th, so next week. But this Friday is the pre-release. I'm going to my local LCS to participate in the pre-release event. Get those cards in. Check out the previews of a few of these cards. Make my own deck. See what happens. But we are so excited to really talk about Final Fantasy. We'll probably get into a little bit of the Magic the Gathering side of things, but really I want to dedicate this time to just really, really get into the lore of things. Everything from 1 through 14, their spin-offs, the music, the art, the creation, everything about it, all the questions we have about it. I've only played 7 through 10 and a bit of 1 and 2. Jake, you've played. What's your experience with Final Fantasy?
Yeah, from 7 on, basically, I've skipped a couple of them. I've never played the online ones. But I know that you have, and I know our special guest has. So I'm excited to see what those are about. And then I'm excited to ask some questions. Ask both of you some questions. So we'll get into that.
Yeah. I consider him the guru of Final Fantasy. He's my go-to expert. So please welcome to our little podcast, Jeryhn, aka Tim. Jeryhn, hello.
Hello.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining and taking the time. I'm hoping this is just basically us to get to know and kind of catch up on Final Fantasy, but also for you, it'll be an opportunity for you to just lay waste on everything, drop the knowledge on us. So
yeah,
sure, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. So Final Fantasy, I think just briefly we talked about how our experiences with it. My experience was starting from, I think I started actually. Okay, so real quick, they're not each series. They're not, just so everyone knows, it's not a sequel order like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right?
That's correct. They're each numbered Final Fantasy is typically its own kind of self-contained story, and they have little connecting references between them.
Right. Yeah, some of those connecting references is between each story, and what's cool is I think a lot of the mythological lore that are derived from the stuff we hear from our own literature is all implemented within these games itself. Is that right?
Yeah. Final Fantasy will borrow things from all kinds of different mythologies. You've got Norse mythology referenced with the avatar or icon Odin. You get a lot of things from the Bible, like Bahamut, Leviathan. But then it also has its own kind of mythos that it got created. For instance, you've got chocobos and moogles and all kinds of little things that are typical of every Final Fantasy. There's always a guy named Sid, for instance.
Yes.
You know, that sort of thing.
You can't have a Sid without, or you can't have Final Fantasy without Sid. Right?
Literally.
You can have exactly one Final Fantasy without a Sid, and that's Final Fantasy.
Oh,
okay.
There's one without him. That's crazy.
Wait, I think
See,
is it the first one?
that's what you just said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Go ahead.
not to interrupt, but like I know that you were saying that they're not like they're all their own story, correct? But I know they're all their own story, but are some of them connected? Like some of the early ones connected? Like you have 10, and then what is it, 10 and 10-2, or semi connected in some way, the same characters? Is that
10
been done before?
10 and 10-2, 10-2 is actually a direct sequel to 10.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, 10 is about a group of adventurers who take on a big monster known as Sin that keeps destroying the human world over and over and over again. And you resolve that in Final Fantasy X, but then 10-2 deals with a lot of the aftermath. How do people react to their change in circumstances now that Sin is gone, now that they can flourish in all their different ways? And there's a lot of like really human conflict that starts occurring afterwards.
Gotcha.
I'm actually a pretty big fan of 10-2 and the story elements that it goes over.
Yeah. 10 actually, so kind of a side thing. My experience order with Final Fantasy actually started with 10. And then I think from there it went 10, 7, 8, 9. And I think I jumped to like 1 and 2 at one point playing the mobile versions. But so those are my orders. And I 10 for me is like, that's my special place. Like that tends to be my go-to Final Fantasy. And I can't wait for the Titus deck to come out because I kind of want to utilize that. But just kind of going back from a standpoint, how did you get introduced to Final Fantasy, and which of the series do you feel has spoken to you, or like which is your your first one?
So the very first Final Fantasy game that I ever played, I had first learned about it from an issue of Nintendo Power. Back in the 90s when I was a young one. And it was Final Fantasy VI. That was the first one that I had ever encountered.
Okay.
And there was a picture of the Moogle Mog with a little knife. And that's the only visual that's the only visual that you see, and he's got kind of like a stern look on his face. Fans of the series know that picture right off the top of their heads. It's highly iconic. And I was just intrigued by this little character that had this little dagger in his hand. And so I asked my mom for Christmas, hey, can I have this game for the Super Nintendo? It was called Final Fantasy III at the time. Because it was the third one that was released in North America, but it was actually the sixth game made overall.
Gotcha.
That's right. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And she had bought it for me, and I just lost myself in playing it all the time.
Okay. That's all right. This is probably one of the most confusing things that within Final Fantasy, but could you help go over like some of the release orders, which kind of threw me off too? So like you said, Final Fantasy 3 was actually 6 when it was released in the US. I think do you know any like the errors or like why it was like that?
So my understanding is that the Final Fantasy series had certain particular games that the developers were concerned would not appeal to Western audiences.
Of course.
Final Fantasy 1 itself was developed as a response to how popular Dungeons and Dragons was becoming worldwide. And the first game was a very like kind of highly customizable set of party members that you could create, and you would just adventure and explore in a world. You had a set of objectives, yeah, but it was kind of played almost very similarly to a D&D campaign back in the day.
Gotcha.
And then Final Fantasy II, when it released in Japan, it was a more focused narrative. It was actually really akin to Star Wars as a big influence on the developer. So there was like a particular set of characters. They all had their individual personalities. And there wasn't really like a customizable class system in that game. And so it was never really believed that it would translate well to a Western audience. So
Gotcha.
Final Fantasy II came out in Japan, but was never released in North America. And because localization between Japan and North America was kind of weird, the Final Fantasy II that we ended up with on the Super Nintendo was actually Final Fantasy IV.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, in the order of what we were giving was, what was it? 6 was 3, 2 was 4. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Did we
So
ever?
It was 2, 3, and 5 that weren't released in North America initially.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So we initially got the first one then.
Yes, we did.
Okay, perfect. That's crazy.
So 1 was 1, but then after that, it was just like trying to figure out what helped, what did it.
And a lot of the decisions made had to do with whether or not they felt certain things would appeal to Western audiences.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
Like nobody had really made like narrative-driven games at that point in time. Final Fantasy II was one of the first ones. So, and there was a prevailing opinion from the Japanese developers that that Westerners would not be gripped by stories. But as we know, that's not true.
Yeah, that's not the case. Look what we got. That entire franchise here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The entire series is like one great story after another.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people have like the ones that they're so attached to. I definitely have a couple of favorites. As you can see from my camera here, this is my actual character in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yep.
It's one of the MMOs. Probably my favorite out of the entire series, if I have to be honest with you. Even though it's an MMO, its story definitely holds up with all the rest, and it deserves to be a numbered title.
It's been going strong for years, right?
Yeah. There was a point where it wasn't.
Yeah.
I was there for 1.0. It was as bad as they say.
Gotcha.
And then they eventually kind of pulled a cataclysm on the world and shut down the game servers for a little while. And when 2.0 came out, it was excellent. It was great. It was everything I wanted in a Final Fantasy MMO at the time.
Realm Reborn was the series. Yeah.
I think maybe that's why. Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are there 2 online Final Fantasy games?
Yes, there are.
Okay, I think I played the one before 14, and I had a sour taste in my mouth because of that one, and thus I thought 14 and the one before were exactly the same, and I never wanted to play it. Or I played the beginning of 14 when it came out, and was like, I don't like this. I don't want to play it. So it's one of the two. Something gave me a bad taste in my mouth where I was like, nah, I'm good.
I mean, if 1.0 and Final Fantasy 14 gave you a bad taste in your mouth, that is probably the prevailing opinion, so I don't hold that against you in the slightest. I remember very distinctly I had started in the town of Gridania, and one of the things I do in video games is I spend a lot of time just going in and exploring the world.
Yeah.
And my first objective was to try to walk to the next major city from where I started. And then I discovered how bad it was when I had passed this third area heading south from the town of Gridania, where it was the same stream with a tree next to it. I had passed that landmark 3 times. It wasn't because I was lost. It was because it was literally copied and pasted that way. The map design.
Yeah.
It was very obvious that the map design was like very modular and not a whole lot of thought was given to the way the world was constructed. And so I played for maybe a week, and that's how long I lasted in 1.0. I mean, it was pretty bad. And it's amazing that they've managed to salvage this particular title.
I honestly thought it was dead. I thought it was dead until one day I caught, our friend here playing Final Fantasy 14. He just got into it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, sure, yeah. And I watched him play, and it looked amazing when he was playing it. I haven't taken the leap. I haven't, done. I don't know if I want to put that commitment into it, but it does look amazing. I love seeing whenever James plays. It's pretty cool. I like seeing all the things about it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Is this the part where I mentioned the meme where have you tried the free trial that is free up to level 70 and has like 60 hours of gameplay? And
go ahead and I wish we took.
I forget exactly how that meme goes, but
I don't know the meme actually. What's the meme?
It's a big copy pasta that people always post on like the subreddit and everything. Like, have you tried the critically acclaimed Final Fantasy 14 with 300 hours of free gameplay? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
It sounds like an AOL free trial though. So.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking to play a Final Fantasy game, it is definitely a Final Fantasy game, and you could play it for free if you wanted.
Yeah. Definitely check that out for sure. It is a heavy commitment too, but I really like the player retention on that too, because I don't know what all other subscription games are like. Like this one in particular, like you can actually start from scratch and like really build to the story, and they've done a really good job at like doing the onboarding process with like new players too. Like even if you wanted to start right now, Jake, you can just like straight from the beginning build your character, and then like from the starting states go from there. Like other games like Destiny, it's just so weird. Like you missed out on a lot of content.
Yeah.
Like especially from the beginning, but Final Fantasy just helps you get those good steps in. And now they like implemented really good if you want to just go solo or, join up with the party and a guild and everything. Like it's been a good how many years since they came out? It's almost like, is it close to 20 now? 10 years now?
2.0 came out in 2013.
Yeah.
August 2013.
It's going strong.
12 years.
Yeah, it's the 12-year anniversary will be this year.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's definitely I could see the growth from when I played it. I could see the growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. That's exciting. Let's get back to kind of like that was your first iteration was you said Final Fantasy 6, which is 3. So have you played the ones before? Have you played 2 and 3, the actual 2 and 3 in the series?
Yes, I have. 2 is pretty unusual. It's usually considered the black sheep of the series because of the way the game mechanics kind of work.
This is kind of why I was asking about it. I did read a little bit, and I was like, okay, let's see what's. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I realized that things were kind of weird when I figured out that the best way to increase my character's hit points totals was to have them punch themselves in battle.
Yeah.
Hang on.
I'm gonna kick your ass real soon. Just let me punch myself in the face.
Yeah, it was a bit strange because the way the growth mechanics worked in that game is anytime you casted a spell, you became a little bit more proficient at that spell. Anytime you blocked with a shield, you became more proficient with that shield. You know, kind of like
Gotcha.
Skyrim type
Yeah.
mechanics, but this
Okay.
was back in like the early 90s, late 80s. It was kind of really, really ahead of its time and not really implemented well. But it was really hard to raise your hit points in particular because you would have to take hits from monsters and lose some health in order to grow your hit points.
That was the only way to increase your vitality or something.
Yeah.
Like your
So
individual.
if you ever went to like a new area, you'd encounter stronger monsters, which is par for the course for any RPG. But then those monsters would absolutely decimate you because they'd just be one-shotting you. So it made a lot more sense to equip your guys with shields, have them punch themselves. They would take damage and grow their hit points and raise their shield skill at the same time.
I love seeing the animation of going, like going in with the shield and just bashing yourself in front of the enemy. Like, you just wait.
I just imagine you going to a boss fight and the boss is like, huh, huh, huh. Hello, heroes. And then it's like, hold on, and just smashes itself in the face over and over again. Oh, whoa, hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
are we supposed to fight?
The mechanics made that game strange for a lot of people. And there was also the map itself was very open in Final Fantasy 2. And so you could just wander into a stronger area without any real indication that you had. And all of a sudden you'd be fighting something that's way above your weight class for no reason other than it's a random encounter. So it was a very kind of oddly shaped game compared to the first one. Final Fantasy 3 kind of like did a return to form by comparison, where they had like 4 blank slate characters and you assigned classes to them. But the difference was that you could change your classes over the course of the game and build up several teams, and it was the beginning of what was the quintessential kind of job/class system that Final Fantasy utilizes for many of its games now. But again, it was not, or rather, it was deemed to not be well received by Western audiences, and it was part of the reason why it was not being released in the United States. But also, at this point, Square was getting a lot more competition from its competitors like Enix, who was making the Dragon Quest series.
Yeah.
And yeah, Final Fantasy 3 has a lot of elements that it started that are carried over into many of the mainline titles today. So it's very foundational in terms of concepts that you see in the series. But it was, to my knowledge, not really well received until it finally came out in North America.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's funny you mentioned, sorry, real quick, you mentioned Square Enix. I forgot they were 2 separate entities. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I still have many of the games that just say Squaresoft on them.
Squaresoft, yeah, that was the original. I forgot. Yeah, Enix was its whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jake.
All I was gonna say was, this is prior to us doing this podcast, we kind of had a little chat, and I was saying this is kind of one of these things I kind of wish that they would remake, because I love, mind you, I love Final Fantasy VII. I'm happy they remade it in today's graphics and story and all that stuff. It's fun. But I've never played any of the original ones. I've never played, 1 through 6. I have no idea what those are about. And the only way I know those characters is by playing, what was it, Final Fantasy, the handheld PSP game.
Oh, the fighting one?
Yeah, the fighting
Dissidia?
one. Dissidia, yes. Yeah. I've played that, and that's the only introduction to those prior characters or prior stories that I have. And so I'm like, for me, I'm like, I think it would be beneficial for not only like newer audiences to get into the Final Fantasy franchise, but like for the older audience like me. Like I am curious, and I'm not gonna lie and say like there is part of me that doesn't really want to play a little 2-bit character game. Like I'm just not interested. I've tried before and I'm just not interested. It does not hold my attention. I I don't know, because I'm just so into the flashy new age models now that it draws me out of it really easily. And it's sad because I think that they probably have very, very good stories. You know, I love Final Fantasy 7 and on, so why would these be any different? And I'm more than sure that if they did a remake, they could, fix the mechanics here, so you don't have to shield yourself in the face over and over again, or go full on shields to the face.
So I do have some good news for you on that front. So a few years back, Square Enix did release a series of pixel remasters of Final Fantasies 1 through 6. Many of them with mechanics that have been fixed or at least streamlined to be a lot easier than before.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 2 in particular is one of those with the whole shield bashing thing. But also, there have also been some like pseudo 3D remakes of Final Fantasies 3 and 4. Of 4, I particularly recommend because they kind of changed the way the system worked in that game entirely. And they made like, even though the models are little chibi characters, it actually works really well for that particular story.
Yeah.
And the what is it called? The augmentation system that they have, where you can get new abilities for characters based off of abilities that other characters had, that had joined your party and left over the course of the game, fits really well for that particular game if you can find it. I know that it was released for like Android, Google Play type stores, Final Fantasy IV, and it was also out on DS. I really, really enjoyed that remake, and it felt very faithful to the original game as well. And Final Fantasy IV is also one of those big titles because it was released in North America, where it was a big jumping off point into the series for a lot of people. So the characters like Cecil and Rosa and Kane are all beloved. And a lot of their characteristics have been brought forward through various Final Fantasy games. Like the job class Dragoon, which is basically a heavily armored knight with a big spear that fights dragons using their own powers, is a big staple of Final Fantasy today.
Yeah. See, I would like, and that again, that sounds cool. I do like that, but I'm talking like a remake as Final Fantasy, the new one that they did for Final Fantasy 7. Like
you mean like on the scale of 7 for everything?
Like the battle systems and everything?
Exactly. Like we're talking full on CGI, like everything is scaled up. They're human size, they're like full facial features, everything. Like
so like the action element rather than the old
like do that but with the older ones, and I would be curious, because honestly, if they did that and be like remake for Final Fantasy 1 or Final Fantasy what's the one with the clown guy? I like that guy. I haven't even played it.
Final Fantasy 6 with Kefka.
I just like the art. I seen him and I was like, oh, he's menacing. But I'm like, they should do a remake of that one. I don't even care. Don't know the story at all. I just like him.
I mean, I might reveal my bias here just because Final Fantasy VI was the first one that I started on, but that is probably one of the pixel-related games where I would say it absolutely does not need the remake at all. Wow. It is a timeless classic that holds up today.
Yeah.
Like, graphics is, for me, not necessarily secondary.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's the perfect blend of gameplay and narrative And even though it has a huge like ensemble cast relative to many of the other Final Fantasy games, there are many characters where you get really attached to their circumstances, even if they are like in pixel form in front of you. I highly recommend that you at least try it.
I know that they did, like you said, they did do that remakes for the pixels and things like that. I'm gonna have to actually, I believe James, you said it's available on Steam.
Yeah, the entire pixel remasters.
Yeah,
I purchased
honestly,
it all, but yeah.
I am down to give that a try and just play that, or possibly watch someone play that. James,
I got it. I'm ready. We could do a walkthrough like
exactly
what we're doing right now with Clear Obscure. But yeah.
But no, I kind of the same thing. I think that's like again the newer aged. I don't know if it's being a snob or not for like wanting the new aged graphics and things like that, but at least I would want something like an older one to be remade completely like that. I think that would be really cool, honestly.
For what in like the pixel generation specifically?
Yeah. Just one of those. You know, if you grab, let's say, Final Fantasy 2, grab the pixel generation from it, and then just remade it exactly how they remade number 7 for the now generation, I think that'd be kind of cool to do too.
Enhance the shield bashing mechanic.
Enhance it. Like, I want to see blood. I want to see it needs to be.
it would be interesting for sure. I kind of wonder which one would work best.
Yeah, I've never played them, so like, I have to take your opinion on like what would work best and what wouldn't work for that.
I mean, there is kind of like a proof of concept that it might work. If you've ever heard of the Strangers of Paradise, it's basically a prequel to Final Fantasy 1.
Wow.
I haven't played that one yet, but yeah.
And it is kind of like a 3D action, like you play as the main character and you dodge mechanics, that kind of thing type of game. Okay. Maybe give that one a look. It was kind of memed on in all of the promotional material, but it actually turned out to be a really solid game. I recommend checking that out.
Yes, yeah. I do remember this. Okay, yes.
Yeah, Strangers of Paradise. You're playing as what's his name? His name's Jack, but that's actually antagonist, right? Or no? It might get into spoiler territory.
It might get into spoiler territory.
Yeah. Never mind.
Don't go into it. Yes. The role of Jack Garland is what it says.
But if you've ever played Final Fantasy 1, you know the very first boss that you fight in that game is a guy named Garland. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can just play that game with that knowledge and let the chips fall where they may.
I think that's what I'm gonna have to do if I play it. I'll replay 1 again just to get back into it, and then maybe I'll do. You said that's a prequel, right? Strangers Paradise.
Yes, it is considered a prequel to that game.
Okay. So
but if you know anything about Final Fantasy 1, you're kind of like, prequel, well, what exactly does that mean for that particular game?
Yeah.
That particular character is like, wait a minute, do we have to have sympathy for him now? What's going on?
Yeah.
I was a homeless child.
Yeah.
Be sad for me.
Oh, you don't know how close you are.
Oh my god! I was joking!
Well, shit. I gotta play how far he was. No.
This is really cool. I love having this. My first integration into Final Fantasy was definitely with 7. I believe it was my dad. I had a PlayStation, and my dad had bought it at some time, or he borrowed it from like an uncle or something like that. And I remember putting it in as a child and not knowing a damn thing, not understanding anything, because I was like 5 and I couldn't read. All right, and I was just like, yeah, that's all I remember. All right, yeah. And then I go from that to watching James play Final Fantasy X, and that's when I really, really got into the Final Fantasy series and went back and played 7 and 8. Both of those were amazing. And Final Fantasy X was amazing too. Very sad, very very sad. I think that was the first time I ever felt. I honestly first time I ever felt sad at a game was Final Fantasy X at the near the end, and that just changed everything for me, and that's kind of what really brought me into that series and made it beloved.
It was a very formative experience for you.
Yes.
For sure. It was the writing and everything. That ending on that was like devastating. Like,
my gosh,
really it? Did I?
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a secret ending I should have found, or like alternates, or like did I miss something? But that was it. But then they came with 10-2, and then honestly, I almost kind of felt like if they left it like that, that would have been kind of cool. Like just left you hanging. But hey, that's really good writing though. So. And that was my first introduction, not only to Final Fantasy, but also the battle system. So, RPGs, even like other ones way back then, I was so used to turn-based. When I went from 10 to 7, enemies just kept attacking me. They would not stop. I'm like, when's it going to be my turn? What's going on? Why are they still hitting me? You're like, you have to wait. No.
Stop!
I didn't know Final Fantasy was like had a standardized battle system where it's just like it wasn't. I mean, not really turn based, but it was like active ATB, active time based.
Active time battle, yeah.
Active time battle, yeah. That. So that threw me off when I put in 7 for the first time.
Yeah, I think 10 was constructed in the way it was because it was meant to be very strategic. A lot of what they did for that game was to highlight that it was the first game that had any sort of true voice acting. Yes. So oftentimes you had some sort of audio cue in order, and the turn order, so that you could plan out how your strategy was going to go. And it was also the first game that allowed you to like switch party members in and out of your regular team that you had on the field.
I thought that should be standardized all the way through. That's really fun, but
yeah, it was definitely developed more akin to like a turn-based strategy game than the think on your feet style of Final Fantasy that had been to that point.
Right.
That being said, I favor the ATB than I do the turn-based system.
Yeah.
And even though like the default option is to have the wait command where you can cycle through all of your menus without enemies attacking you, it does add an element of stress to the game, and it does make the vast majority of them more challenging if you just keep it active all the time.
I can see that. I think for me, it's just like I really want to sit there and appreciate like some of the animation and scenes. So like just to sit there and like turn based, like, all right, let's see what this move looks like or what his slashes look like. But because ATB also kind of keeps you on your toes, it's like, all right, I kind of don't have time to look at it, but this guy's gonna shoot me in the face if I don't do something right now. So, yeah, it's a fun system, whole system.
And
it took me a little bit.
ATB was actually something they brought back in 10.2 as well. It's my most favorite iteration of the ATB system, just because the way the different classes interact with it. And even sometimes when an enemy strikes you with a particular attack, sometimes your meter reacts dynamically to receiving an attack. So if you're like charging an ability, and then an enemy hits you, it actually like slows down the filling of the meter, or it even makes the meter itself longer based off of the attack of the enemy. So even though it's ATB, it's still got that kind of strategic element that you saw in base 10. And then the class switching system, even though it's kind of, Charlie's Angels, whatever.
Love it.
Charlie's Angels dress up. Each of the classes like feels really good to play for the most part. And overall, I think in terms of battle mechanics, it's a better game 10.2 than 10.
Yeah.
But that's just because I grew up on ATB. I feel ATB in my blood whenever I'm playing a Final Fantasy game. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool.
So for me, I had my experiences with Final Fantasy 10, 7, 8, 10. I never played 9. That system, like, I believe I was just too young, too young to fully enjoy Final Fantasy for what it was. I did enjoy the story. I did, and that's why I'd rather watch like James or my older brother play it because they understood. I'm going from Crash Bandicoot where I'm jumping on barrels and spinning to this thing where I have to figure out timing and spells and stuff. It was too much of me at that time. So I went from that to then growing up around 2009 is when Final Fantasy 13 came out, and that was my first game that I bought personally. My first Final Fantasy game that I bought with my own money, and I remember when it was coming out, I was like, oh yeah, like I love Final Fantasy. Like let's it's new graphics on PS3 or PS2, I think, and I was like, this is gonna be awesome. Like, was it PS3, PS2? I think it's PS3.
It was PS3.
Yes,
Yeah.
PS3. And I spent hours on this game, and I know that I don't think it was super well received. I've heard complaints about it, but I really enjoyed that game a lot. I spent so much time on this game, to the fact that like one day I had a day off. I spent nearly the entire day from like 7 in the morning to maybe at 6 or 7 at night for like 12 hours just playing this game straight. That when I finally took a break to go eat and be a human, I stepped out, walked forward, looked at my bathroom door, and I swear to God, I seen a health bar and I punched the door. My older brother watched me do this. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I've seen a health bar. I don't know. I need to stop. I need to relax. It was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm like, I don't know what happened, but that's 12 hours of playing this game straight.
It's like just playing video games in general. You're used to so many cues. Like I even had moments where I go to sleep and then I feel like I'm still playing Valorant for some reason. I'm waiting for like the spike to go down, the sound effects. It's a fucking trigger after playing so many things.
My God.
Those kind of games. It's so weird. That's a whole other nuance or whatever that's happened. But yeah, I get you.
In terms of 13, I enjoyed it for what it was.
As
a longtime Final Fantasy player, one of the biggest things I've found when it comes to criticism about Final Fantasy 13 is that any individual game is always judged on the legacy of the entire series.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that you saw in 13 is that it was a smaller, really focused cast, and there was a lot more character interaction between each of the individual characters than characters interacting with the situation that was in their games. So a lot of those interactions feel a lot more personal, and that's why they hit harder. For 13, the story is pretty stellar, but the problem is that the set dressing is that you're essentially a team of not adventurers, but you're like escaped convicts, basically, and you're running from the cops the whole time. That is the premise of the story. And so usually what you want to do is you want to keep running away, and that's why the game is kind of framed in this like what people call a hallway simulator, where it's just there's only one path that's very linear. You don't have many of the bells and whistles that you've seen in previous Final Fantasies, like I don't know, like chocobos and moogles and that sort of thing that keeps you grounded with the rest of the series. I don't think I felt like it was a Final Fantasy game until I actually arrived in like chapter 7 when you hit like that theme park area. And you start seeing all of that stuff. I was like, oh, this is a Final Fantasy world. It's not just magic.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can understand where a lot of people are coming from when they criticize it harshly.
I do too. I felt the same way while playing it. You know, it was such a for me, it wasn't like a vast difference from like 8 and 7 in terms of that. I do like the character development in this game a lot, but it was like, oh hey, who are you? Okay, you're on the team. Okay, who are you? You're on the team. Who are you? You're on the team. Let's go. Like it was very like that, and there was some characters. One of the ones that people tend to hate, and I understand because I also hate, as a little kid, the little boy. I hate that kid. It was that one, and I think the one of the girls. I was like, oh, he's so annoying. Like I hate
probably
that.
Vanille,
Yeah,
Is that the child? The other child?
the redhead. Yeah,
it's just there's two main characters that like, and you have to play at them with some point. It's been a little bit since I played this game. Actually, I would like to revisit it and see my feelings towards it now, because this is like when I was in high school, you know. So I definitely want to replay this. I didn't get to play the sequel because I believe there came a sequel to this, correct? Kind of like Final Fantasy X and
Two
10-2.
sequels, right?
Yeah. I want to play. Oh, there's 2 sequels?
there's 2
So,
sequels. Yes, it is a trilogy.
Oh my gosh!
Trilogy,
Well,
yeah.
crap! I have to play those. Because I like Lightning is the main character for this one. I like her a lot. I like her abilities. I do like the cast, and I did like the summoning systems. Things like that were super unique to me. And maybe it's because I I wasn't playing Final Fantasy for a while, and I was just going off of those old ones. That when I got to this one, I was like, "This is fresh. This is awesome." I felt it, but it is like you said. There was that aspect where I was like, this just kind of feels disconnected, rather than a Final Fantasy game." But I still liked it. I still enjoyed it a ton.
Yeah, and just, even though like Final Fantasy has this legacy, their actual like real world legacy is that they try to do something different each and every time they make a new Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is amazing.
why it is amazing. Some things hit, some things miss, just like any time you try something new. But it's 13, in my opinion, is a pretty good game. The story is absolutely stellar. The combat is surprisingly fluid. Even though a lot of it is doing auto battling.
Yes.
You still have to make like strategic choices regarding that auto battling in order to be successful in that game. And the best thing about it is that it's approachable for a new player to the series. Even my wife has played this game, and she doesn't play video games.
Oh, she picked it up.
Yeah, she went through that game herself.
It's a good.
I just sat there on the couch.
Yeah,
and watched her play it.
It is a good story. It is a good story. Again, I'm gonna have to. Man, I have a checklist of games I need to play now for Final Fantasy, and honestly, all this started again because of the new release of the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy set. We would not be doing this podcast today if that wasn't coming out. Honestly, it's definitely sparked a intrigue. Sparked I can't get the words right now, but I have became more excited than I've ever been for Final Fantasy because of this.
Yeah, I have also seen some of that sentiment online. A lot of people are intrigued by the series and what it has just based off of the new Magic set that's coming out. And I will tell you, having looked at a lot of the cards that have come out, many of them are very, very faithful to the characters and concepts that you find in the games themselves. And it's driving a lot of excitement about the set.
Yeah. It's got a really good, like, all the mechanics with each of the cards and the combinations. They have a really good understanding. Like the player or the creators and everyone who at MTG did a really good job at like selecting the right cards, creating the deep cuts for like bigger like Final Fantasy folks like us, and it's done a really good job at like really getting those sets going.
it's really obvious that many of the creators, down from like the artists and the people who like design the mechanics of the cards themselves, are Final Fantasy fans.
Oh, for
Yes,
sure. Yeah,
yes,
That's
for
the
sure.
biggest, most important aspect of the set.
absolutely. Like you got to have a fan base. You got to have people who actually understand Final Fantasy with the decades long history that they have. Like that.
Mhm.
That just seems like absolute dedication to like get it really right and
Yeah.
really, really, really dead on.
Yeah.
I want to get into the MTG side of things, but let's hold off on that for a little bit. So let's just continue nerding more about everything
Okay.
Final
Just the
Fantasy.
series,
So,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So I had mentioned earlier that
Mhm.
my absolute favorite right now is Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
And James knows he's experienced everything so
Okay.
far. There was a time when it was not my favorite out of the entire series. Rather, that was 9, and I'll get into that in just a second.
Okay.
Okay.
But 14 really surprised me with the depth of how they were developing yourself as the player character and putting it into the story rather
Mhm.
than other MMOs where you just see like, oh, you are the champion of whoever, and all the important
Yes.
things are actually done by like all of your set piece characters. Like you're not an actual character within the story.
Yeah.
14 is different. It makes it very personal
It
to the
does.
point where even though all this stuff in the game is happening to your character, the Warrior of Light in 14 is definitely its own distinct entity within the Final Fantasy universe.
Mhm.
I really appreciate that even though I might not make the same choices as my character does in 14, that they are all represented very well. And for me, Shadowbringers, when it came out, and Endwalker especially, both really cemented 14 as my favorite game. And even
Absolutely.
though it's currently having some troubles on the narrative side with Dawn Trail right now, they've absolutely earned my faith for everything that's coming in the future. I'm really looking forward to what the next step is because I am currently intrigued based off of what I've seen in the game. 14 is going to be my favorite for a very long time, I expect.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. It is a big commitment, but it's also one of those things that you can always take at your own pace.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And then prior to 14, my favorite Final Fantasy was 9. And
A
the
quick
biggest
question
sure.
before you get into that. Final Fantasy 9.
Yes.
That's the one with it's like a little kid with like a monkey tail.
Zidane. Yeah.
Is that the
So
main character or something? I've never played this. I've only seen it, and I went from. I'm such a snob when it terms in terms of like art and like art direction, and so coming from like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, like Final Fantasy 8 mainly, and then going to Final Fantasy 9, I was like, ugh, ew.
yes,
And
it
then seeing
was
Final Fantasy 10, I was like, what happened?
it,
Real quick,
yes.
like the character model designs, it made it very askewed to like like 7 and 9. I can see where you're coming with that because of the character models. They kind of look like the chibi versions of what it
Yeah,
is. So I'm already there expecting, okay, is it kind of like a kiddie game or something? But yeah, I can see like where it transitioned from 7 kiddie looking, 8 there's your not
more
kiddie
like
look,
I guess grounded. I
yeah.
don't know.
But then back to
Uh,
9, I can see what you mean by the whole
that was just
kiddie
my
looking and
perspective, and again, it was like this is this perspective of like a child too. So it's like I didn't even give it a chance. I just like, ugh, you look gross, and that was it. That's all I got. So
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we're talking about the same one.
Yeah.
That's cool. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We are talking about the same game. And Final Fantasy 9 in comparison to 7 and 8 is very highly what would I call it? Stylized
Mhm.
Yeah.
compared to those two. And I think that is what its strength is relative to those two games. So
Gotcha.
the main character, Zidane, the monkey guy with the knife, he's not actually a kid. He's a grown ass man. And
Oh.
yeah, he looks young, but many of the characters are like anthropomorphic versions of all kinds of different animals. Like you see hippo people, you see elephant people. There's even an entire kingdom full of rat people. And so I think the variety of different races and things are part of what makes Final Fantasy IX pretty strong in terms of its character development.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of people in that world going around looking at somebody who looks different and have something mean to say about anyone because everybody looks different from each other in that world.
Yeah.
And then what it kind of does is it turns that world on its head by introducing the black mages, which for some reason they are controlled by one of the antagonists in that story in the beginning, Queen Brawny. And she has this black mage army and she just starts subjugating the known civilized world by having these characters go around and attack cities with their magic.
Is this the game that has is it Vivi, the popular character?
Yes.
Yes.
That's where Vivi comes from. It's this game.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I have a list of freaking games I gotta play.
Oh man, if you've not played 9, you are definitely missing out.
No, I have not.
And one of the other things that kind of went against 9 is that each of the characters has a very specific set of abilities.
Okay.
And you don't get to build your party until about halfway through the game. Rather, your party is built for you, and you have to make do with what you have. Compare that to games like 7 and 8, where you have like the materia and the junction systems, and you can have any character do anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could freely ignore any that you weren't interested in.
Yeah.
But it's much better to get a sense of what your capabilities are with your given party in 9. That makes it so that in certain parts of that game, there are definite difficulty spikes.
Okay.
Though overall, it's not a hard game at all, as long as you know like what the extent of your capabilities are, and if you're willing to be a little less conservative with stockpiling potions and never using them, like many RPG players are in their games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 9 for me is probably, out of the entire PlayStation 1 generation, is probably the darkest story out of the 3 of those. There's a lot of themes that it goes over, like the racism that black mages eventually have to endure when they become self-aware and decide to stop murdering other people. There's genocide, where an entire kingdom is basically obliterated overnight through summoning magic. And you don't see like any representative of those characters besides the one that's in your party for pretty much the rest of the game.
That's crazy.
And then the actual story behind the main character, Zidane, the monkey tail guy, is a lot sadder than you might expect for any of the Final Fantasy protagonists. And that's something that I absolutely don't really want to touch on or spoil for you if you have
I
any desire
definitely
to play
want
that
to
game.
play. Yeah.
But it's funny to me that he acts as like the happy-go-lucky person within your party. And so he comes out as a natural leader, but over the course of the game, you realize exactly how flawed he's capable of being. And it's really interesting from a narrative perspective.
Yeah. That's really cool.
They want to revisit these games, yeah.
And then on top of that, Final Fantasy IX was designed to be not like a swan song, but a celebration of every Final Fantasy that came before it. there are numerous references to every other numbered title that came out before it. Even down to like a line in a play that your characters participate in where they mention no cloud, no squall shall hinder us when
Oh, I
the
didn't realize
characters are
that.
talking. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Um,
Oh.
so it's definitely a celebration of
That's cool.
everything that came before it, while remaining its own thing. And I hear that there's probably going to be a Final Fantasy VII style remake for it.
Oh my god!
That's
This is all I need.
that's been on the rumor mill for years, though,
Yeah.
and I'm
Oh.
pretty convinced that if Square is ever going to do it, it'll be after they're done and set with the 7 remake
Yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah.
I think
I don't.
that's good. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, that'll be wrapping up, soonish. But
Mhm.
then I fully expect that we'll see 9
Yeah.
remade in like current gen in all its glory. And I've seen things that creators have put out, like I think it's called the Memoria Project, where
Mhm.
they've like done little sections of that game and built it in the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And it looks absolutely stellar. I cannot
Yeah.
wait for anything like that to come out in the future.
I will 100%. Man, thinking that kind of makes me want to wait, but also there's like not an actual like end time of when that would come out or if that is going to come out. But like, oh my gosh, if that came out and if it's coming out soon, so excited. I'll wait for that. That's when I'll play it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm sharing a little bit of the Memorial Project right now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
Oh yeah, I can see it right now.
Yeah, that looks really cool. Unreal Engine too.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. Yeah, that's really
See,
cool.
this is yeah.
I remember seeing this in the kitty
Man,
little.
I got it
8-bit.
completely wrong. Sorry for interrupting you, man. I got this completely wrong. I was like, I don't want to play
And
this.
yeah, look at this reference on your screen right now. Even though this is a fan-made project, that's the Warrior of Light. That's the statue right there.
That's crazy. This would be amazing to play. I would love to play this if it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like the stylization, I feel as though it works for it rather than against it. The problem with like the really highly realistic games I've found is that the more realistic they try to be, the worse off they age.
Okay.
Whereas this, just looking at this, feels like it would be timeless, no matter what.
Yeah, I understand. See what you mean.
I think really quickly, like going back a little bit, I think this would be the opportunity to go back and do some of those remakes. I think it's a good stopping point because it just feels complimentary, like where they have Magic the Gathering is releasing 1 through 16. Good. Let's stop it right there. That way Square Enix can like go back to 1 through 16 and do those remakes while we're stuck with the 16 platform. Like I think that's where it's at right now. Just like hold off, let Magic the Gathering be the point where it's like, here's the 16 sets or the 16 Final Fantasy games. And just like, just put a hold on it for a bit. Don't go to 17 yet. Just let's get some of these in here, right? Like remake 1, 2, and all that. That'd be kind of cool.
This would be amazing. Yeah, I would freaking love to play something like this. This would be great.
I'm getting Kingdom Hearts vibes already.
Right?
This looks like Traverse Town.
I don't know what that is, but sure.
Kingdom Hearts, the one of the main towns you're in the game.
I feel like Square would be really well served if they focus on their next numbered title, 17, but at the same time they had another department that maybe was refreshing some of these older games. Whether it's a full remake or if it's even like what's that new trend that they're doing? The HD 2D thing that they've been doing for certain games.
The little remasters.
Yeah, a lot of the old pixel games could really do with a fresh coat of paint in that manner, in my opinion. if they do like large scale remakes, I feel like it should be for certain select games. 7, obviously. 9. I don't know if I agree with 8. Maybe if they change some things about the story with 8, but I know a lot of people will be waiting in the wings to
See if they do
leave things in the comments to refute my opinion on 8. It's
Let's
not
go
my
ahead
favorite.
and hear. Let's hear about it. You told me briefly about why 8 is not your favorite. Can you explain?
There's one narrative device that they use in 8 to try to explain away why certain characters are antagonistic with your party. And basically it comes down to an amnesia plot.
Yes.
Where in order to have the power to fight, the main cast, the characters, need to engage with the guardian forces of the world, and they do so at the cost of their memory. That doesn't really sit well with me because there's a better way, in my opinion, that they could have done it. The main antagonist is the sorceress in that game, right? Adea, the sorceress Adea. Now, if it were, instead of the guardian forces, what if it were the sorceresses themselves that were going around toying with people's memory? That makes them a far more dangerous opponent because you don't know what you're fighting for when you're fighting against a sorceress. Or, since every sorceress has a knight, if you're willingly serving her.
Right.
Because she can manipulate your memory.
Yeah.
Cypher is devoted to the sorceress that he serves, but it always seems like he's manipulated in some way, right?
Yeah.
When you go through that particular game. Over the course of the game, this is going to be spoiler territory, but one of your characters is revealed to be a sorceress, or she becomes a sorceress at some point in the game. And the first time she meets Squall, you might notice this. She goes up to him in a ballroom. She waves her hand in front of his face and she says, "You're going to like me. You're going to like me." And it's just a little playful gesture. But think of the narrative impact it would have between Squall and this character. Where if he didn't know if what he felt for her was true. Think of how much more of an impact both the fact that a sorceress exists within her and whether or not he might be manipulated or not would have on that story.
Oh, that kind of makes sense. I was just, totally. You said it had to do with, in the game, it had to do with like summonings, the G Guardian Forces.
Yeah, they're called GFs in that game, short for Guardian Forces. But they're the classic summons that you see in every Final Fantasy game. And your memory is, at least narratively, manipulated based off of your use of those summons. What happens if you play a game where you never utilized the summons at all? Well, you still have the memory loss. It's not explained very well for people who play the game differently.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. I mean, a lot of the games, especially playing back then, I just went, just for the game playing content. But now if I revisit now, it's just going to, that just makes so much more sense. And yeah.
And the thing is that Final Fantasy VIII is, again, one of those like jump off diving board into the series types of games for the Final Fantasy series. And as such, it has a legacy. And I know that in the comments or whatever, people are going to be like, Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite. I can't believe you would say this heresy on the internet. But I'm sorry,
gonna
it's
rip
true.
you a new asshole.
Oh man, that's what we're here. That's why we're here.
I'm here to say that 9 is in every way superior to 8. Okay, thank you.
Okay, here we go.
I'm excited that like this, the older Final Fantasy series. I do want to revisit and or play. 9 definitely. I've heard I kind of beat myself up because I've only heard good things about 9, and I should have gave it a chance, and I just never did. But you know what? I'm older now, and I can enjoy the actual story because kind of like what you were saying, James. When I was playing it younger, I was just kind of playing the game. You know, I was just trying to get through the game, fight the boss, fight the big bad,
Yeah.
not really connecting the pieces with the story, only grasping some aspects of it and going from there. You know, Sephiroth, um, bad guy. He bad guy. He had long sword. He had cool hair. Like
He
that's
cut my girlfriend in half.
he killed my girlfriend. Yeah, exactly. That was like the concepts. You know what I mean? Final Fantasy, like again, I was a little older when you started playing Final Fantasy X, and at that point, I could understand what was going on, and I was able to appreciate what the story was, and thus the reason why I felt so sad at the end, because I was like, what is this? And yeah, man, I that's kind of cool. Honestly, what you describing Final Fantasy VIII, I would enjoy something like that. I think that works narratively, and it I believe that would be a better game. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Or at least a better story. I
or
can't claim,
yes,
I
a
can't
better
claim
story.
to
Sorry.
I can't claim to be like a very good game designer or anything. But I feel like
Give
the
this man a job.
sorceress is just kind of like an arbitrary enemy. Like you don't even really know why she's bad or why she's dangerous, other than she
Yeah.
uses a different kind of
Yeah.
magic than you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like making her threatening while also connecting her to the characters just a little bit more would have worked for that story a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But that's pretty much like the only Final Fantasy besides maybe 13.3 where I would have major issues with their story.
Don't talk about 13.3. I haven't even played
We
that.
won't talk
I haven't
about
even played
13.3.
Okay.
We
I
won't
didn't
talk
even know there was a 3.
Yeah.
Well, we'll play the game and then we'll do another episode.
Yeah.
Episode
We'll
for
bring
that.
you back on. You know.
It'll be It'll be episode 3.2 of our podcast. And then that way, we'll call it that way.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, a lot of good Final Fantasies. I think I don't know why I felt this one was actually kind of fine. Do you know any quirks? Anything about Final Fantasy 15? That one, obviously the Arden thing. Have you played Jake?
So-
Actually?
Newest? Is that the
I was-
newest one?
That's the one before 15. The one with the 4 guys in their car roaming around the. That one.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but before you get into that, I have to say the trailers and the way Square Enix does their like promotional stuff for Final Fantasy is amazing. I was so out of the game when Final Fantasy 15 was announced, and the way they made that look like the one of the greatest games I have ever seen. I mean, this character was jumping around, stabbing people, doing, maybe it's because I'm super into anime and stuff like that. So he was like, teleporting everywhere, doing all that stuff, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. I was like, it's Sasuke. No.
Yeah, it's really interesting 15's history when you realize that it's really just kind of a Kingdom Hearts game.
Maybe that's why.
I mean, it was designed by Tetsuya Nomura. He's the same guy who did like character designs for 7 and 8, and he designed Noctis and his little like teleporting abilities and that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
The story about 15 is that it was supposed to be a complementary game to 13.
Right.
It was supposed to be called Versus 13. It was supposed to use the same kind of mythos that they were building within the 13 universe and apply it to a different game with like a different situation.
Okay.
But it was in developer hell for years and years.
Yeah.
I want to say a decade.
Yeah,
I remember
seeing.
I remember
Seen
watching
some
the
concept.
trailer.
Yep.
I remember watching the trailer for that game after I finished Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mhm.
That was in like what 2006, something
Yeah.
like that.
Back then, yeah.
So, it was definitely a game I was looking forward to when it was Versus 13, and when they announced it was going to be 15, I was like, okay, well, Sure, fine.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Um,
A lot
But
of it too. It seemed like it was relating to Kingdom Hearts because the way it was like released, we didn't know if it was going to be actually part of Kingdom Hearts or like its sequel or something, some sort of spin-off.
Yeah.
And then it went into Versus 13 and all this, like you said, developer
Yeah.
hell.
hold that
Yeah.
thought.
Okay.
We'll come back
Yeah.
to that one.
Awesome.
But 15, it's really kind of strange because it has so much other like necessary material that you have to be aware of in order to really get a sense of what's actually happening in the very beginning of the game. Like there was an entire movie that came out, and there's like an anime series that describes like the background of the characters.
Yeah.
And because everything is so disconnected from everything, it doesn't feel like one big cohesive narrative. And probably because it wasn't, because it didn't have one person in charge of everything. So
okay.
you get weird things like the anime where they try to explain away how Prompto was like an undesirable fat kid living in insomnia by himself, and he befriends the Prince Noctis before they go out on their adventure. But then it's never really explained how he actually got to insomnia in the first place and why he might be related to the Empire in some way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weirdly disconnected, and there's not a lot of follow through on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is that there's also been a lot of cut content. There's a lot of content you can find on YouTube where you can explore like the entire second continent where the Empire was, and they just didn't build anything there. It all exists within the game files,
and
it was meant to be an explorable area, like the major area that you get in 15 as it came out. But it was obvious that Square refused to let this be in developer hell for a day longer than they thought it should be.
Yeah.
So my view on 15 is that it's an all right game. It's definitely middle of the road for the series. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that it just never was fully explained why anything was the way it was in that game.
Yeah.
Like they built a world and they said, this world exists, look, enjoy. But you were trying to find the substance that was supposed to be there that didn't actually make it in there.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of battle mechanics, it's kind of weird. You easily find out like the sword is probably Noctis's main weapon because he seems to be the most proficient with it. Oftentimes you have situations where a dagger is pretty good, and then everything else just kind of sucks to play as.
Yeah.
And unlike a game like Kingdom Hearts, where you can choose between button mashing or really precise engaging with the abilities that you have, you often find yourself like stuck in animation loops in 15.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no real like comboing system that you can exploit or take advantage of in your fights. So if that's why you have like the regular Final Fantasy item system where if anything's going bad, just pop a potion and keep going.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Death or like Dark Souls type style of fighting where you have very limited resources and you have to get good at the game rather than rely on your resources for success.
Yeah. Yeah. It just felt very, very limited. And it wasn't until like, when they had like the actual DLC content, and that's when it started to kind of flesh out more of the characters, obviously. I wish they went more with it though. Like it was very like, I don't know if one-sided is the word for it, but it's pretty stagnant. I liked it. I think what kind of capitalized it too was just the architecture of the game, like the landscape, like that was really cool. I think.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's an absolutely beautiful game.
Yeah. I mean, they sold it on that point, but everything else is like,
and I feel like I would be willing to forgive it for its faults.
Yeah.
If only the same thing didn't happen to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I didn't play it
You know what
yet.
I mean?
So is this the same? I haven't played
Ye-
15, but I played Kingdom Hearts 3, and oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Really?
Nomura was supposed to direct both of them, and he only ended up directing Kingdom Hearts 3, if I recall correctly. But they were
It,
both in developer hell, and it just felt like nothing was happening for like a
Oh,
decade
geez. Is
for
Nomura
either
the
of those
problem?
series.
Is this what's happening?
I don't
Do I see a
know.
No,
pattern?
Kingdom
it
Hearts
could.
3 wasn't a game. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a movie.
Yeah,
That's all that
basically.
was. And it oh my gosh, I felt so uh,
Huh.
I mean, you can get pretty nitty gritty with the combat in 3 if you have any true desire to.
yeah.
If you see people doing like no hit runs against Yozora,
Yeah.
that's pretty interesting. Coming back to your point, you know how you said that Final Fantasy 15 was just Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah.
Well, Yozora is just Noctis.
Yeah.
He's got a teleporting sword. He's introduced in his little outro thing after you beat him, driving
Mhm.
around in a car in a place that looks like Insomnia. They just call it Quadratum.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Like maybe Nomura's the problem. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just
They just
half-assing things
canceled
and
the sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go. I was just commenting. Go. They just canceled what?
They just canceled Kingdom Hearts 4 because there was like that they had a preview that they're gonna make Kingdom Hearts 4 and it was like Sora in the real world now.
Oh no,
And
correction on that one. Kingdom Hearts 4 is still coming out. It's still gonna take
oh,
place in that real world looking area that's called Quadratum.
okay.
It's just they canceled a mobile game that was supposed to
Oh,
support it.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay,
That one.
okay, okay.
I'm absolutely on board with this. The more mobile games they can cancel, the better.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, I think
We don't need a
yeah.
mobile game of that. Like, unless
No,
it's gonna be multiplayer. But like, no, we don't need that.
someone I so like listen to sidetrack until Kingdom Hearts just a little bit.
Mhm.
I like Kingdom Hearts. I like Kingdom Hearts 1. I like Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, I've played the entirety, almost every single game of Kingdom Hearts. I'm talking like the DS or not the handheld
Little
game,
side
like all of
game.
them I've
Yeah.
played.
You played
And
OG Chain of Memories?
yes, I played
Oh
OG
wow.
Chain of Memories, and not only did I play OG Memories, I also played when they came out with the PS3, PS4, like remakes and everything like that too.
Hmm.
I played it on there just to see if they're yeah. Anyways, I suffer. um, I like Kingdom Hearts, but if you sit here and tell me that Kingdom Hearts is a good story or is like a good game, I'm like it's not. It's not. Truthfully, it is not. It is not a good story. Nothing is a good story if you have to backtrack to 15 other games and Wikipedia just to try to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Hmm.
And it's annoying. I'm like, I don't need a full like direct narrative or direct line for the narrative, but if I have to sit here and research offline from the game and go off into comments of people and Reddit and be like, what does this even mean? And have someone else explain it. That's not a good story. That's
No,
not good.
I know how we can solve this problem for you. We can just load up a Starbomb album, and we can have you listen to the simple plot of Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts,
There we go.
Okay.
and we'll go from there. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. I've had this debate with a couple of people about Kingdom Hearts, but that's just how I feel about it. I'm like, oh man, I do. Not saying I don't enjoy it because I do. I do enjoy it. I get the concept of it, light, dark, whole thing. Get the whole concept, but I'm just at this point to where after playing the third one, I was like, I'm kind of done. And then
Yeah,
they're like, oh, we're gonna come out with a number 4, and I'm like, I don't even care anymore.
yeah. I'm a little ready for the series to like grow up a bit,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Say
Not to
how we
say
had-
like Disney characters are terrible, but if Sora's gonna like grow up and become a real boy or whatever, then he should get to it.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I
Honestly, yeah.
think. It just sucks that it took like almost over a decade to get the third one out, but then like all the fillers in between just kind of like semi sufficed it. But
And the thing is like a lot of those in between games, they aren't actually fillers. Like Birth by Sleep is foundational to everything. And if you didn't have a PSP at the time, well, sucks to suck. Granted, you can play Birth by Sleep these days on PS4, PS5, whatever you might have. But it's also like you might have missed out in the intervening period.
Yeah. A lot of that is an issue too. Like access to these games, like you had to have a PSP, a DS, or something. Like I didn't really have that.
I think that's more of like a corporate thing of like, hey, we want to make as much money as possible, split the story. You know, we can make a game here, we can make a game there, try to promote the PSP, things like that. You know, I think that's more of a business decision than an actual like story narrative decision.
And a lot of those games were Square Enix like trying to be conciliatory to Nintendo because they had a big falling out with Nintendo during Seven's development when Nintendo didn't want to upgrade to a CD-ROM for data storage, and Nintendo was interested in keeping their games mostly pirate-free, so they stuck to cartridges. They wanted their hardware to remain proprietary rather than to be a standard. So
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. That's part of why those games exist, is because Square really wanted to like fill Nintendo's bucket a bit.
Yeah. Cool. We kind of veered off a little bit into the world of Kingdom Hearts, but let's go back to Final Fantasy. One of the things, like obviously one of the big things with the Final Fantasy we should talk about, more importantly, is the production side of things. I think mainly we should talk about the art, the beautiful artwork of that. So Yoshitaka Amano, the original, the OG, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's made mainline art for every single numbered title, even up to including 16. 16s is pretty amazing. He is definitely the GOAT when it comes to that kind of art. And he's made all kinds of art, not just for Final Fantasy. You can like go to galleries and find his stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of his artwork too. I think I've seen him in covers of like, I think I bought like, I don't know if you remember this, maybe anime. I think it was an anime. Vampire Hunter D. Like, I picked up that one a long time ago. And like, good God. And I think what's kind of cool, I think right now from experience playing Final Fantasy 14 with you and seeing Amano's artwork come to life in those games, like just imagining the cover art and everything, like I'm actually fighting that one. Like I think one of the bosses, it was in Shadowbringers, the who was the big guy, the big king dude who turns into this like
Vothri.
His second form, Vothri. That one. Yeah. Like the second form of Vothri, that looked like an Amano art, and I wanted to I want to fight more of those things. Like that's so cool. And he was so hot. I'm sorry.
Oh wow,
it was crazy. I didn't expect it. Like, why is he so hot?
Yeah, there were a number of memes that came out right around that time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you a clip or something at some point, Jake. You'll see what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the dark, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of art, you also have the aforementioned Nomura. He's responsible for a lot of the, I guess, really kind of solid-looking stuff that's been throughout Final Fantasy. He started out as a monster creator, I believe, and a lot of his monsters were based off of D&D things, like the classic Ahriman type enemy is usually like a little eyeball with wings. Usually casts like really deadly magics based off of a beholder from D&D, You also have things like the bombs, which are like little floating, explodey, dealy guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I thought that makes sense. That makes so much sense.
and curls. It's spelled very strangely, but the word is pronounced curls.
Oh, I
They
know
are
what you
like
mean.
they are like the displacer beasts from
Yeah,
D&D as well.
they're the if you don't the little cheetah with the
Yes, the kind of leopard
flails on
guy.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I've definitely noticed the comparisons with D&D and Final Fantasy. And I just never put that together, honestly. But it makes sense. I mean, a lot of those creatures, the concepts and design are very similar. Not the same, similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Really cool. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break on this, and then when we get back, I think we're just gonna go straight into the whole Magic the Gathering side of things of Final Fantasy and the set coming up. So we'll take a break, and then we'll be right back. All right, we are back, and we're one person short, so Jake's out for the remainder of the podcast. He's going to celebrate a birthday with his loved one, his significant other. So happy birthday to her, and have a good time, Jake. We'll catch you on the flip side. I'll never say that again. Anyway, we're gonna continue on with more Final Fantasy here with Jeryhn, aka Tim, and I think we're gonna talk about more the Final Fantasy set coming pretty soon, actually, with Magic the Gathering. So the pre-release is this Friday, and yeah, we're gonna go over some and any like notable ones that like really stood out. I'll go ahead and share my screen, but yeah, if there's anything you want to like point out, um, we'll check it out. So
Sure.
yeah, where is my? There you are. Cool. Here we are. So this is scryfall.com. Is this the entire list? Is that right, or are these just ones that have been shown right now?
I am not sure if every single card in this set has been released on the website yet.
Yeah.
I think the vast majority of it has.
Yeah, it looks like 310 cards. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the deep cuts. I love the art, especially. I mean, deep cuts, especially if you're a Final Fantasy person. It's like once you know, you know.
Yeah.
And like the mechanics and everything. So let's go over some of the things here we're looking at. We got a couple colorless, white mana cards here. Oh yeah, and if you're gonna pick these up too, though, there's also little references to like you'll see. For example, Albert Steiner, he's from Final Fantasy IX, and if you want to like really find out where they're really from, if you look at the bottom, you'll see FF9, which tells you which Final Fantasy game they were
cool.
from.
I didn't actually know that they were doing that with
so
all the cards.
Yeah, so like with the Sids too, and I think they'll do the Chocobos, which I don't know why, but it'd be fun. Like this Chocobo specifically from FF2 or whatever. So yeah, that's a nice little helpful hint there.
Sometimes there are design differences between Chocobos and the various Final Fantasy. So
Yeah.
that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Example, Ambrosia.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 at the bottom. There you go. Cool. So some of these, again, the creators of Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy did this collaboration, and then all the mechanics are just super well put together here.
Yeah, a lot of it is true to form for many of these characters.
Right.
Or like specific narrative beats that occur in various Final Fantasy games.
Exactly.
For instance, you
Uh,
see for Ash right there.
mm-hmm. This is in Final Fantasy. I haven't played Final Fantasy 12, but go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of her thing during her stuff in Final Fantasy 12 is she's always looking for some sort of way to counter the Empire that has conquered her kingdom. And most of it is trying to find like some sort of mystical artifact or relic that bestows great power so she can actually have a way to fight back. So it makes sense that she would be the top cards of your library, at least
Okay.
narratively magic.
So the ability, whenever Ash attacks, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Like, the little deep coats they do with that's just really well done. I want this one to take a look at. This one's kind of a...
So yeah, that's like the classic Final Fantasy VI battle menu.
Yeah, this
and
is breaking the fourth wall kind of thing. Like, this is what we see, right, as players of the game.
Yeah. And it's just pretty straightforward. You attack with a little like weak attack or whatever you have. You have your
you actually
unique
create
ability.
a 2/2.
Uh-huh.
You create a 2/2 white character. So you create a token for them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You got your ability. You have magic. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny that it only works on a target creature with power 4 or greater.
Yeah.
Since this is like a Final Fantasy VI type card, that's when you usually use your magic, is when you have a more devastating enemy that can make or work for you.
Right.
Magic is absurdly powerful in that game.
Which is power 4 or greater.
Yeah. And then items. You always like keep those potions, elixirs, ethers in your back pocket, usually forever, in my experience.
Yeah. Totally. Like, there's your potion right there. 2 mana cost too, which is really nice. As long as you have
not bad at all.
White mana. Yeah. Instant as well, so it's really cool. Yeah, let's just check out some of these. So we got some Final Fantasy 16, Dion, Dwarven Castle Guard from 4.
Yes.
Dragoon's Lance.
That might look familiar to you as someone who has played 14. You saw those
yeah.
kind of dwarves. 14.
They were in Shadowbringers.
Yep.
The dwarves, yeah. Laiho.
Those have been in Final Fantasy for pretty much as long as Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Of course. But I remember Laiho thing. I didn't know it was like a Final Fantasy 4 cut from it. That's cool.
Yep. There's a ton of references to 14. 14 is basically just reference other Final Fantasy the game.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense since it's a celebration of it all, but yeah.
Yeah. Definitely MTG and 14 just go well hand in hand with the whole entire 4 Final Fantasy celebrations.
One of the things I'm noticing is there's a lot of 14 references to the job system. Like if you look at the Machinist Arsenal or the Paladins, that is the that looks like the multi-tool and the Queen Automaton that you use in 14.
That is
part of your regular mechanics as a machinist.
Let's see if this goes well with it. So the job select, when this equipment enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero, which if you had, it would have been the automaton. Equipped creature gets 2/2 for each artifact you control and is an artificer in addition to the other types. Machina, equip 4. Oh, it's going to be one of those equip types. Okay. Crazy.
There seems to be a lot of really good equip stuff in this set as well. I remember seeing the A tier in Prewin, which is something like gives +X, where X is equal your life total or something. Absolutely busted artifact for like a single creature.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That is pretty busted.
Yeah.
He said something with the paladin arms.
Oh yeah, if you take a look at the art, that's the wings effect that you put out to
Oh, it
protect your party
is.
members.
Yeah. Lightbringer and Hero Shield. Okay.
And it seems that each of these they look like Final Fantasy 14 references, but it seems they each create their own token, and then it equips that item to the token. So this is basically like
Another.
an artifact creature.
Yeah. You could probably build an entire 14 deck with just job changes. This looks
Oh yeah,
like that's cool. See what else we got. Slash of Light. The summons. Oh, Tritz Clint.
Siltskin. That is a Final
Stiltskin.
Fantasy 9 roof.
Yeah. Target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. Yeah, sounds like a merchant to me.
Yep.
That's crazy. So the summons, I'm excited to see how these go because I thought these were like at least the system with these summons in Magic the Gathering. I think they're called sagas though,
Yeah.
or similarly planeswalkers. I almost at least the way it laid up, but they're sagas. And what's cool is like it makes sense how they enter the field. They're only there for like all these number turns 1 through 4, and then they're done. Like you
Yeah, it's
exile
like
them or something in the card.
they're built to be sagas basically.
Mm-hmm.
Since summon typically come out, do something really powerful, and then leave.
Yeah, that's really cool. There's a specific set of sagas though that they do stay permanently.
Oh, really?
Yep. You just got to find which Final Fantasy that is, which I think we're probably familiar. Hint: a more recent Final Fantasy.
I bet it would be 16.
Mm-hmm. So we'll find those once we get there. Weapons vendor.
And a big shout out to "You're Not Alone" card right there.
Where's that one?
That
yeah.
white single drop.
Okay. It's an instant too. Oh wow,
Yeah.
1 mana. Target creature +2 until end of turn. If you control 3 or more creatures, it gets +4 until end of turn. Dang.
Yeah. So what that particular card is depicting is a portion of the game where the hero is like feeling down because he's everything he's been fighting for has been kind of not only not going well, but it's been like the opposite of what he is supposed to be doing. And he has this small moment where he's like, my friends don't deserve me, I should leave, and he attempts to leave. He starts fighting a bunch of battles by himself and is obviously getting creamed. And so this card is depicting his friends rallying behind him despite everything.
Yeah.
It's like a really powerful moment.
I think
It
I
has
remember.
its own music and everything.
Yeah. I think I now remember specifically in that moment in Final Fantasy IX, like that turn of doubt within the story, and here it is in card form. That is so fucking cool. That is awesome. Yeah. Hell yeah. You said that's a song too? You're Not Alone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Zach Fair. I mean, not to say I'm tired of Final Fantasy VII, but I think we're pretty familiar at this point, so I don't want to get too
we can talk
about it.
We can talk about Edgar instead.
Edgar,
he's a pretty cool character.
Let's see, 6. Let's talk about Edgar.
So his big thing is that he has a twin brother whose name is Sabin, and together they are the heirs to a kingdom where the father had recently passed away. And so there's this big question of, because they were twin brothers, who was going to become king, right? Neither of the brothers really wanted the throne, especially in case the other wanted it. So there's this thing that happens in the game where Edgar pulls his brother aside and he says, let's decide this on the flip of a coin.
Two-headed coin. Okay.
And if it's heads, you get to choose what you want to do, and the other will live with coin flip. And so when he flips the coin, his brother says that he wants his freedom, but he purposely flipped a two-headed coin so that it would always land on heads, so that his brother would always get the choice.
Two-headed coin. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It actually comes up at another part of the game where Edgar decides to try to scam some dude with a flip of the same coin while the brother is around, and the brother realizes like what had actually happened.
Huh.
Yeah.
First time you flip one or more coins each turn, those coins come up heads and you win those flips. Oh shit.
Yeah.
What?
So it's like a funny little gambling moment where he out gambles the gambler by cheating.
That's sly. That's cool. But Edgar, you suck. Eject. Yeah, I remember that happened to me a lot in a few of the games. Instant can't be countered. Return non-land part. Yeah.
I think it's a little impressive that they chose Aerith for this particular card.
I'm trying to understand it.
It looks like she's fighting against the Midgard Stormer serpent thing that you see towards the beginning of Final Fantasy VII.
Was it something it does?
It's funny that this card depicts Aerith considering what happened to her in that particular game.
I don't know why
she can't be saved.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Wow.
I think it's a little tongue-in-cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. The Lunar Whale.
Lunar Whale. Yeah, I remember. I have that ship.
That
Final
is
Fantasy
a
4
reference. Yeah.
I did not know it was part of 4. Yeah.
That is an airship that you take to get to the moon.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You may look at the top card of your library at any time as long as the Lunar Whale attacked this turn. You may play the top card of your library. I never got the vehicle cards. It's got to be an Aether Drift thing. If anyone, and I'm sure Magic people will understand this, but the crew stuff, there's a whole system with that specifically. I'm not familiar with it, but go ahead.
Neither am I, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the Lunar Whale is it's featured really prominently in Final Fantasy IV as your main method of transport, getting between the blue planet and the red moon, where you fight your ultimate in that game. And there's a lot of like prophecy type stuff that happens in that game, leading up to the Lunar Whale being revived.
Oh wow!
Interesting ship.
That's cool. Let's see what else we got here. Louis Sua's Sacrifice, Final Fantasy 14.
So remember when we were talking about how they destroyed 1.0 in that Cataclysm?
Yeah.
Well, this is what this card is depicting, where he sacrifices himself so that the world can be remade.
Yeah. In a way, he helped build. He made Final Fantasy 14 better, if you want to look at it that way.
Yes.
As an additional cost to the casted spell, sacrifice a legendary creature or pay 2. Counter target activated ability, triggered ability, or non-creature spell. Oh wow, I can see that in action. In the story, Mega Flare was about to hit, right? And then Louis Swad did some to basically shield everyone or counter that effect, and then sealed Bahamut within I forget what it is. Right?
He attempted to seal Bahamut, and that didn't quite work. And Bahamut was going to drop a Terra Flare on Eorzea, and it's like not just the small little prime form that you fight in the Coil of Bahamut. It was like his big, actual iconic form.
Yeah,
which you could see flying in the skies where no matter where you were. Yeah. And his sacrifice involved like sending everyone that was on the battlefield who was still alive away um, to safety, while also like taking some primal power into himself and countering Bahamut with it. So
That's right. That's
yeah, it makes sense as a counterspell card.
yeah. His sacrifice. Excuse me. All right. This one was a really cool card. I didn't expect to see Matoya, another Final Fantasy 14 character. Pretty simple spell card or creature.
Matoya from Final Fantasy 14 is a reference to Matoya from Final Fantasy 1.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Because Matoya sends you on your way to upgrade your jobs in the game.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for reminding me of that. Damn. I stopped at 14, which also depicts that here as a reference, but you're right. She sends you off in 1. Whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
What else here? Anything that should be notable?
Let's keep going down.
Sahagin, Scorpion Sentinel. We know where that's from.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Summoner's Sanctum. What's the? Oh, wait. Yeah, Summoner's Sanctum. Yeah. Final Fantasy X. For some reason it said 5. I'm like, I don't remember I got hearing about that. But yeah, the Summoner's Sanctum, flash, enchant artifact or creature. When this aura enters, tap an enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untap step, and his activated abilities can't be activated. It's like it's a zone where they can't really summon. Not really summon, but like aren't they like trapped in one place, right? If I remember in the story. Yeah. That's where the Albed or something kind of like
holding them hostage, but not really. Yeah.
Yeah. That was oh man, now thinking about it, the story with the Albed, it looked like they were kidnapping them, but they were really saving them.
Yep.
In a way. God damn. I gotta play that. That's a deep cut right there. Summoner's Sanctum for sure. If you don't know, now you know. Oh, wow. Swallowed by Leviathan. Final Fantasy, does that say 2?
Yes.
3. I barely remember this. Then again, I barely remember most of the things from 1 and 2. I'm sure you got swallowed by Leviathan at one point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Here we go. There's a good one. Ultros, Obnoxious Octopus.
Here you go. Are we doing with the 6 or 14?
This is 6.
6. Okay. Are they similar? That's the first question. 6 and 14 Ultros, because they're both there.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Technically in 15 as well, if you paid attention to the movie.
15?
Yeah, the Empire has like a bunch of demons on their airships, and one of them
That's right.
looks like an Ultros looking octopus. It doesn't like talk or anything, do anything obnoxious besides being a big bad demon. But
yeah.
The big thing is that I believe this is another pretty good flavor card. The cast non-creature spell, at least 4 mana, tap target creature opponent controls, puts down counter on it. So yeah, whenever you cast magic, particularly fire magic at Ultros, which is his weak point, what he tends to do is slap that person back with a really hard attack, usually once shots them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he does that in pretty much all of the fights in Final Fantasy. If you deliberately try to target weakness with magic,
he'll counter it with something harder.
Yeah.
That's if he's not alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just otherwise an obnoxious fighter where he does a lot of like AoE damage that requires you to keep on top of things.
Yeah. I think I remember. I remember fighting him a little bit in the 14, but then again, I think I just kind of one-shotted him. But I remember some of the.
when that fight came out in 14, there were a
Mhm.
lot of people who could not clear it initially.
Yeah.
Because he's paired with his partner,
Yeah.
Typhon.
Mm-hmm. The
And
Typhon. Yeah.
what Ultros would do is he would like do stuff that's just annoying, where he would turn you into imps and try to shock you with electricity. But the big thing was that he would constantly heal Typhon. Typhon was the real danger in that fight because he would cast his snort attack to send you off, careening off the side of the platform. And
Mhm.
if everyone was knocked out at the same time, the battle would immediately end.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it wouldn't be that you would because you died; it would be because you were ringed out.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
remember that.
obnoxious for sure.
Yep. Noxious octopus. Let's see what any other deep cuts we can see in here. Big Salvagers, Arimon, Jola Roll.
Everybody knows who Y'shtola is, I think.
I would hope, especially if you have to play Final Fantasy 14.
Here you go. Cornered by Blackmail.
Cornered by hey 9.
Yep. We were talking about this Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah.
People would open a door in one of the movie sequences in that game. All these black mages would be there and just fire all their magic out all at once.
I remember that. I remember the cutscenes too. Like a lot of the cutscenes were so good. All of the Final Fantasy games were great, but in particular, number 9 had some really good like action cutscenes, and one in particular had to do with the mages as well, for sure.
Yep. And could you just imagine like running for your life and then opening the door to try to escape, and this is what you see?
Yep.
Must be terrifying.
Yep. All these glowing eyes and fire Faraga being thrown at you.
Yep.
Create a target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice. Create a 0/1 Black Wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's the sorcery version of the VV card that's in this set.
Yeah.
That everyone's looking forward to.
If you pair that with any spells, immediately the 1 damage, and you're creating Black Wizards for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Let's see what other cuts we got here. I'm not too familiar with, actually. Ragnarok. What's this? Final Fantasy 13. That's why I never really played it. Okay. What's this?
So it looks like this is a transform card from that the Fang card, I think.
Okay. Like,
but when Fang transforms into Ragnarok, the course of that game.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
Fang, her?
Yeah.
She transforms it. Okay. I thought like or is this a different person?
No, that's Fang. Or Fang and Vanille, it looks like, are required because it says melds Vanille.
I thought she had, or is it another character? Didn't someone have like a Bahamut or something in that game? Or was it Fang?
Fang had Bahamut, but that was like her Eidolon.
Gotcha.
Ragnarok is something that the Lassie actually become physically.
Oh, okay.
And it's able to actually kill Fal'Cie according to the lore, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay.
That's why it has so many huge effects.
Gotcha. Let's see what else. Final Days. Hey, this looks familiar.
Yeah, it sure does.
That's the Final Days. The what is that? Where are they again? Not the.
I don't know. It sounds like it might be a spoiler for anybody who hasn't played 14, though.
Yep. Yep. I'll try not to guess much, but this definitely happened in the Final Days.
That is a face that we have all encountered.
Mm-hmm. Create 2 black horror creature tokens. The spell is cast from a graveyard. Instead, create X of those tokens, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard.
And it has a flashback.
Yeah. Flashback. Definitely the whole creature cards where you recreate them, that's definitely in Endwalker, right?
Yes.
So there you go. There's your deep cut right there for Final Days. Let's see what else. We got Gaius, Jacked. I think we. Oh shit! That's cool.
Yeah.
I like this version. This is a version of Jack. I remember in Final Fantasy X, we never really. Well, we did explore if you picked up Jack Spheres with the stories, but I think kind of the appearance of it, I didn't really expect this, and I could imagine him going into Spira like in those 10 years, like at this youth. And I think just the art itself was just like kind of a cool iteration. He looks younger. It looks like what Jack would be, being the reluctant guardian that he is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he becomes something far worse.
That's cool. I was hoping this was around, and of course it has to be. Braska's Final Aeon. And then, wait, do you... Saga, and does this mean you sacrifice just the Aeon and then goes back, or do you sacrifice Jekt entirely? That I don't know. And if you do...
I think you sacrifice it entirely. So it
sounds like it. Kind of in the story, too.
Yeah.
I feel like it.
Because he never comes back from being the Final Aeon, so...
No. And that would make sense. This is like a one-time thing, right? So, ultimate just shot. Each opponent sacrifice 2 creatures of their... Oh, jeez, yeah. Yep. And sacrifice after 3. That's the story right there. Like those 3 words, kind of. That's cool. I like this art entirely. If they do, I guess we talked about stories within the sequels. Final Fantasy X-2. What would it be? The prequel. Final Fantasy -1, 10, 2, 10. I would like to play that if they ever come out with Jack, Auron, and Braska's stories.
I'd be interested in seeing a Shuyin card if they ever made something based off of it too.
I don't think Shuyin really never got to me. I don't know why.
Well, because it was hard to imagine Titus as the villain, right?
True, but then it turned out like...
Or Titus, if you want to be accurate.
Yeah, but he was like someone actually else entirely.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like someone who existed. He just looked like Titus, I guess. Titus.
It's one of those unanswered questions, like how in Kingdom Hearts, Vanitas Sora. Nobody really knows why.
Yeah.
It's just because it's edgy and cool, probably.
Right. They needed some sort of motivation, I think, in Final Fantasy X to chase after this lookalike character. But anyway,
I would love to see somebody put the Jumbo Cactuar in attack and see if somebody will like defend against it, and then you just hit him with overkill.
I think that one of these two has to happen first. Either somehow you survive the Jumbo Cactuar and then you clap back with instant, or if you have enough mana, there's your counter to it, I guess.
The only thing I feel like is missing from the overkill card is it should give you like draw a card, because that was the premise for why you wanted to overkill in that game, because it gave you XP, right? So it should give you something for performing the overkill other than just getting a creature. That's just my opinion.
That'd be a bit much.
That would be a little bit more flavor.
It would be. But then it's almost like after every kill, you draw a card. Well, I guess this one in particular, I suppose.
Yeah, it's just an instant.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Poison the Waters. Explain this one on 6.
So there's a scene in early Final Fantasy VI where one of the major antagonists, you see him in the card, his name is Kefka.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to lay siege to a castle that is home to like the samurais in that world, and they just won't surrender. And they're like storming the walls, and the samurais can fight back, and the siege is basically unsuccessful. So Kefka arranges so that the general in charge will be called back to the Empire for some reason. Some sort of frivolous reason.
Wait, what was that last part again? They would call back Kefka? What?
Kefka arranges it so that the general who's in charge of performing the siege gets called back home to the Empire.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so when the general leaves, Kefka is left in charge, and what he does is he immediately poisons the river that feeds water into the castle.
Gotcha.
And so he basically kills everyone there. Just to take a castle.
Or that all creatures get -1/1 until the end of the turn. Or target player reveals their hand. You choose an artifact or creature card from it. That player discards that card.
Yep.
Okay.
And he just goes around and kills like a lot of normal people, not necessarily the defenders. So
Jesus Christ. Okay.
That's another flavorful card right there.
Yeah. Damn. Kefka. I knew he was bad news.
Oh, he's
Jesus Christ.
Anything you've heard, if you've not played 6, he's worse.
Makes me want to punch him in the face even more.
Oh, the Tonberry.
Yep.
We got to take a look at this guy. That's the knife,
This one in particular is in Final Fantasy V. Real quick. So, I'm assuming because there's Tonberries all over Final Fantasy, do you think this is the introduction of the first Tonberry in Final Fantasy V?
Yes.
There's been any before, yeah?
Okay. 5 was the first one where it had a Tonberry in it.
Gotcha. The first Tonberry appeared in Final Fantasy V. More in particular, we're looking at Chef's Knife. During your turn, this creature has first strike and death touch.
For a 1-drop black. All you have to do is have it survive long enough to do an attack.
Yeah, because he comes in stun, and then he'd become untapped, remove a stun counter from it. Yeah, if he can survive it somehow, some way.
And the reason why that's flavorful is because Tonberries don't ever rush at you with their knives. They always approach you very, very slowly and very, very deliberately until it's suddenly Chef's Knife, and then you take a bunch of damage to your face.
Yep. Fuck those Tonberries.
Yep.
Easy to get away from, but you do not want to say hi to them up close. Let's see what else. We talked about this one off script or offline.
Yes, we did.
But Xenos Yagelvis,
my friend, my enemy.
This is such a bullshit deep cut right here. My first friend. Oh, that's so weird. I don't know why it's creepy, but
choose a creature until end of turn. Creatures other than Xenos and the chosen creature get -2/-2. Basically clears the board of anything that's not worthy to fight him.
Right.
Which is peak Xenos right there.
Yeah. And then, spoiler alert, he transforms to Shinryu. He's got flying. As this creature transforms into Shinryu, you choose as this creature transforms into Shinryu, choose an opponent. Okay, so as if you're doing Commander. Commander can be multiplayer, by the way.
Yeah.
You do Burning Chains. When the chosen player loses a game, you win the game.
Yep.
So
you just choose who your best friend is, and when you smash them, you win.
That's it.
That's how it goes.
God. Hopefully I understand that right. In a commander setting, like, because it's multiplayer, does that person lose or the entire game is over?
The entire game is over.
Oh, damn. So as soon as he steps into the battlefield, everyone needs to get the fuck out of here. No one wants to be your friend.
Yeah, exactly. Which is also peak Xenos.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, Final Fantasy 14. Jesus
That
Christ.
is a perfect card.
It is. I almost want to see you have fun with this one if you do a commander deck with it.
Mm-hmm.
To get the reactions like, nope, I don't want to be a friend. I'm sorry. I hate being that person, but we do not need you in this world. Let's see. I think this might be one of the Clive.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about Saga summon cards. If this is what I'm thinking, there's your permanent Saga right here,
Yeah.
which
He
makes
just
sense.
turns back into Clive, if I understand it correctly, right?
As this Saga enters and after your draw step, add a lore counter.
And then after the third one, you exile him and return it to the battlefield front face up, so he basically blinks back into Clive.
Basically, yeah. But I think in particular, these cards specifically, I think they literally reveal themselves behind the cards. I think.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. But yeah.
Well, it should be printed on the back, so yeah.
Yeah.
You'll know if someone's about to hit you with Ifrit.
Yeah.
I've got a funny story here under Choco Comet.
Oh God. Okay, let's go.
You've seen these birds before.
Fuck these birds.
The red varieties can cast Meteor. So in Final Fantasy lore, Meteor is usually one of the strongest spells that you can obtain or that anyone can cast. The fact that a wild bird can summon meteors if you piss it off is absolutely hilarious.
Yep.
And in Final Fantasy XIV, there was a particular incident when they released. It was one of the Evilise raids, which is where the red chocobos really come from. Basically, what happened was everyone was trying to unlock the raid at the same time, so everyone was like spawning the red chocobos that you would have to fight as part of the quest series in order to advance the quest to unlock the raid. Since multiple people were doing it at the same time, and this was a field area, not an instance area, you had about a few hundred chocobos just running around, slinging meteors at everyone and everything. And so many people just died just constantly. You would arrive to the scene, you wouldn't even see what would hit you before you died.
Damn. Yeah.
It was only like a thing that happened for maybe a day, maybe 2 days after that patch came out. But it was absolutely hilarious and completely par for the course.
Wow.
For facing red chocobos anywhere in Final Fantasy.
You had to be there. Now,
yeah.
What's worse? Getting meteor summoned by Sephiroth or being assaulted by a bunch of red chocobos that can summon Choco Comet's meteors?
Well, there was a particular red chocobo called Red Comet in the Bozja content. That was known for obliterating a lot of players. And in the newest thing that just came out, the Occult Crescent, people saw chocobos, although they were black chocobos, and everyone immediately started having PTSD. It didn't turn out to be as bad as the red chocobos, but
okay,
still.
I was gonna say, like, what are they capable of?
Yes, that is exactly what people wondered.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that full circle PTSD. The red chocobos. Oh no, there's a black one. It's worse.
Just from facing black chocobos.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even see anything they had done, and people in the say chat were going, "Oh God, oh no." Yeah, hilarious.
They're just rare. That's it. They won't do any harm. I wanted to talk about this person in particular. If Jake was here, but we can go over that later. So there's a thing with Gilgamesh specifically that has to tie in with all the Final Fantasies. Is that right?
So not all.
Okay.
Most of them. But anywhere where Gilgamesh as this person right here appears, is the same Gilgamesh that originated in Final Fantasy V.
Gotcha.
Towards the end of Final Fantasy V, he gets shoved into a wormhole And basically what he does is he goes around trolling all the other Final Fantasy worlds, looking for the strongest weapons and challenging people to fights that he's completely outclassed by in the majority of the time.
Oh, okay.
He is kind of a goofy character. He's also in 14. Started in 5. You see him, I want to say like every other game or so. He makes some sort of appearance, and he's always challenging your guys for their weapons.
Yeah. I feel like the 15 not as silly as like all the other ones. That one was like a little more serious. I don't know if you played the
I did play the DLC on that. I'm not convinced that he's the same Gilgamesh, and he's like the one exception.
Okay, yeah.
To all of these. 15, I think they kind of maybe shoehorned a guy named Gilgamesh in for the DLC, which would be, kind of par for the course for everything else that happened with 15. But, yeah. This is one of the cool little things about Final Fantasy in where it has its through lines and constant references to its past, where this really comes out really well.
Yeah. I think I might have explained this wrong to Jake about Gilgamesh being sort of like a connection between all the other Final Fantasies, because I made it sound like he was a warrior looking for the perfect battle or something, but I didn't realize he was actually just a troll, silly character, kind of fighting.
I mean, there are some games where you fight him and he's like an actually good fighter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about
Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember. I think 8 though. He made a super brief appearance, but then he got cut down pretty easily.
What happens is when you fight Cypher, one of the times if you have the Odin summon, Odin will come out and try to fight Cypher for you. And Cypher cuts Odin down, and Gilgamesh appears out of nowhere and picks up Odin's sword.
Oh, that's right.
So he goes around trolling the Final Fantasy multiverse and collecting rare weapons.
Oh, that's what it was. So I thought it was the other way around, where he basically takes over Odin from that point in Final Fantasy VIII. That's what it was. Okay. I thought it was the other way, where Gilgamesh showed up and then Odin cut him. But no, he just happened to have Odin's sword at that point, where it just instant kills everyone. That's it. Gotcha.
He also has a sword that instead of the Excalibur, it's called the Excalibur.
Yep.
And he deals 1 damage to everything.
Oh no.
Same thing happens in the original game when you fight him in Final Fantasy V. He says, "This is the strongest sword ever," and he makes a big deal of it while you're sitting there wailing on him. And then he hits you for 1 damage. And he's like, God. "Oh, this is far from the strongest of swords." And so,
I just realized that.
Yeah. It's kind of just a funny little character.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here.
We should check out the opera love song.
Okay, which color? Yeah, let's kind of.
It was red. Right here. A little further down. On the right side there.
There it is. Okay, from Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Choose one, exile top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards until your next end step, or 1 or 2 target creatures each get +2/0 until end of turn.
So this is a small little narrative sequence in Final Fantasy VI, where instead of trying to fight your way into something, you have to bring someone to you, and the way your characters go about it is they impersonate the actors in a stage play. And so very quickly you have to memorize a set of lines for you to put on the play. And if you get the lines wrong, the gambler will know that you are not legit.
Ooh.
And one of your characters supposedly looks very much like one of the actors. Someone who he wants to kidnap and make his wife. So you're trying to lure him in so that you can progress in the story.
Okay.
And so this particular card is pretty cool in that this opera depicts a woman who is betrothed to marry someone she doesn't want to from a former enemy kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And her lover, who wants to rescue her. So that's why like 1 or 2 target creatures each get +2/+0. They end up fighting a duel. This also ties in with Ultros because while you're crashing the opera to try to lure in a guy, Ultros is also crashing the opera to get at you for revenge.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
just a little opera crashing.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It's one of those things that make Final Fantasy VI a really kind of classic game.
Yeah. Oh whoa. Raban? Really? That's cool. Final Fantasy 14. Raban. Whenever Raban attacks, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to the target attacking creature.
I feel like paying life equal to his power is a little rude.
Yeah. It's pretty. I'm trying to. I don't know. That's really half of him or something.
Yeah.
Let's do like maybe 2 more of these, and then I do want to continue on maybe a second parter.
Sure.
For this, but one of the ones you pointed out, suplex.
The suplex, yes.
Yeah.
So, if you take a look at the art of that card, that is indeed a dude with his arms outstretched, running at a train, and willing to wrestle with it. That
Final
is
Fantasy 6, by the way.
Yeah. That is Sabin. That's Edgar's brother, who we talked about earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
And so what he's doing is he's running at that train to grab it.
Is this the bet? Like one of the bets or something?
No.
Okay.
The premise is that they are on this train that's taking them to the afterlife. And the Doom train.
Okay.
And so Sabin is like, I'm too badass to die. So you end up fighting the train.
Oh my god.
And one of the ways you can fight the train in the OG game is by using his suplex move, which basically picks up an enemy, shoots them up in the air, and then he slams them down like a meteor strike type move. And so that's exactly what this card does. It deals 3 damage to a target creature. If that creature would die, you exile it so it can't come back, or you destroy the artifact.
Or suplex the artifact.
Yeah. You're suplexing an artifact.
God, that would deal. If I could suplex things just to get things out of the way, that'd be so amazing.
It is an amazing card, and I love the art on it with him just going raw directly at the train because that's peak Sabin there.
He's going, I got this, with basically a BART train coming after him. Okay.
Yeah. And you can only imagine like the dudes in his party are like, what the hell is he doing? Oh my god, did that work? Yeah. So you don't die that day and go to the afterlife because you suplex the train.
Okay. There have been weirder things like, speaking to beavers, but that's a whole other Final Fantasy story.
Yes. There is a particular card I want to shout out.
Yeah,
if you want to look for it. It's called Absolute Virtue.
Oh yes, let's wrap it up with that one. Oh, there's a Commune with Beavers. It was like there you are. Go ahead. So let's read the spell content. So first off, legendary creature. Spell can't be countered, has flying. You have protection from each of your opponents. You can't be dealt damage, enchanted, or targeted by anything controlled by your opponents. It's 8/8 from Final Fantasy 11. It's 8 mana as long as you have a white and water mana. So yes.
So the story behind this absolute badass Final Fantasy XI was an MMO.
Do you want to call it a badass?
I mean, he was.
Okay.
There was a particular sequence of events that you needed to do to pop him. He was the 8th monster in a series of 8 that you had to get through to do this content. It was called the Sea or Altai Altayu in Final Fantasy XI.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about Absolute Virtue is that for years he was unkillable. He was introduced in the game in the Chains of Promethea expansion. And when you could go to the sea area, you met all the conditions, destroyed all the previous monsters. He had a 50% shot at appearing when you destroyed the 7th monster. And what he would immediately do is set about killing you. And there is absolutely nothing that you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Players, in their ingenuity as always, figured out various ways of actually killing him without it being the intended method. For instance, there was a particular area that was called the Wall of Justice, where players would gather up on the other side of this wall where Absolute Virtue could not target you with his meteor spell. And
he has meteor.
Yes.
Okay.
He has instant cast meteor.
Oh, great.
And then he also had the mana font ability that would prevent you from interrupting him at all as well. Mm-hmm. But because your characters were too far away to hit him with meteor, but you could hit him with your own spells, all these players did was drag him halfway across the zone, which would be an endeavor by itself. And they would have black mages on the other side of this wall just slinging spells at him constantly while he couldn't turn around and target those people with his meteor spells.
Oh my gosh.
They eventually chipped him down, and that was the first way he ever died to players. And what ended up happening was Square Enix did not anticipate that the player base would be able to kill him in any way. So they didn't even program drops into his loot table.
Oh shit. So
yeah.
No.
They purposefully made an invincible enemy in the game and said, "Here, kill this." Made it pretty much unkillable, and then didn't even give drops.
No. And how long did it take?
That was at least a few months into the patch of that expansion where he was introduced. It was such a big deal.
The first time they attempted it, like how long did it take to actually take down Absolute Virtue?
Oh, I believe that Wall of Justice method was something like 5-hour fight. And it wasn't like 14 stuff where you die and you reset. It was you lost all of your progress whatsoever.
Oh, rough, yeah.
Because this was like a world boss. Okay. And then alternate methods were devised after Square was like, "Hey, you killed that guy, but it wasn't a legit kill because it wasn't the intended method." So they gave Absolute Virtue the ability to pull somebody to his location.
Oh shit.
So the Wall of Justice no longer worked.
Okay.
All he would do is see a player that he wanted to kill, pull it to him, and he would stick it with a spear, and they were dead.
Yeah.
After that, some people tried the Kraken Club method. The Kraken Club was a small little weak club that hit for like piddly amounts of damage, but every time you swung it, it hit 2 to 8 times. And Dark Knights had an ability called Soul Eater, where they could sacrifice 10% of their health to add that health directly to the damage they dealt. And then they also had their capstone ability, the Blood Weapon, which restored their health for every time they hit the enemy. So they ended up getting a bunch of Dark Knights together, giving them super buffs for speed and attack power and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And when Absolute Virtue popped, those Dark Knights were sent in. They all popped their Soul Eater blood weapon at the same time, and they took him down within 20 seconds.
Wow.
Because that's how many times they were hitting with the club.
Yeah.
That was also patched out.
Damn it.
Because Square was like, you're not intended to use the Soul Eater method in this way. That was the way I actually ended up killing Absolute Virtue when I was attempting to do this.
Sure, that was a lot easier, but
it was still a pretty rough setup, and you still had to get it perfect. But once it was executed very well.
Yeah.
And then that got patched out by nerfing Soul Eater damage on all kinds of notorious monsters, not just Absolute Virtue.
Oh, you can't blanket it like that.
So eventually, years went on, and Square was like, okay, nobody's killing this the way that we intended. So we're going to put a little video on the internet to show you how to kill Absolute Virtue.
Oh, okay.
And the video detailed using certain types of elemental spells on the previous monster that you killed so that it would stop regenerating Absolute Virtue after it died. So when the previous monster was casting a particular spell, you had to cast the same element of the spell back at it in order to defeat its regeneration ability.
Oh.
Then when Absolute Virtue came out, whenever he used an ability that was like the 1 hour cooldown abilities that we had, that every class had, like a unique thing, like White Mage healed everyone for free for a cooldown of 1 hour. Whenever Absolute Virtue used one of those abilities, a player in the attacking party would also have to use it at the same time in order to lock Absolute Virtue from using it. So that's how you would counter its meteors, by locking it away, by using your own chain spells and mana fonts and stuff in response to him doing it.
But all that had to be set up from a prior fight, you're saying? Like the previous encounter? Is that what you said?
You would have to have the job availability amongst your attacking party, and you would have to do the previous encounter in a specific way in order to have a shot at beating him.
Oh, God. Okay.
Nowadays, with a level cap being at 99 and master levels and whatever else is going on in 11 these days, Absolute Virtue is not a particularly difficult target compared to some of the latest stuff. But this guy was notorious for years, at least until the Pandemonium Warden came out. And I noticed that there wasn't a Pandemonium card. So,
okay.
that is a black eye in Square Enix history. Whereas some people were fighting a monster so long in Final Fantasy XI that they were hospitalized.
Whoa, what?
Yeah. I wasn't a part of that, but I had heard about it. I believe it was something like 28 hours. They were fighting a monster constantly, cycling people in and out. And here's the thing is, they didn't even win or get to the final phase of that particular monster.
Jesus Christ. My God.
Yep. 11 was everything bad that you know about MMOs.
Wow.
It was fun for the time. Nowadays it's a lot more casual and easier, but it really gave the grindiest of grindy of EverQuest for its money back when it came out. It was.
Jeez. Oh yeah, EverQuest, right?
11 was an absolute shit show, and if they ever remake a game, they should remake that one as a single player game.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the ones on my list.
That would be cool. Not a lot of people really got the chance to experience Final Fantasy XI because of the nature of being it online, and I think some of us couldn't really afford it at the time.
I think a lot of the story content is soloable, but it's impossible to play that game without the use of a wiki. There are no quest markers. There's no directions. None of the NPCs explain how to do anything in that game, and it's all very purposeful in its original design, in that you had to ask other players to assist you and or get information from other players in order to do anything in that game.
Gotcha.
So in its current state, I don't really recommend that anyone play it unless they're willing to really take a look at like the BG Wiki or the Final Fantasy XI Clupedia, if that's even still updated.
Yeah.
But it was, in my opinion, also a pretty good Final Fantasy game in terms of like all the other bells and whistles that make a Final Fantasy game a Final Fantasy game.
Right. Cool. That's crazy. The fucking absolute virtue.
Yes.
It's gonna go. It's going into my commander. I'll figure out a way to pull off.
Good luck.
Yeah. First, I gotta pull it. Anyway, thank you so much for all your knowledge and like this whole Final Fantasy lore, from talking about the history about it, production, everything, the stories, and getting into like the whole filling in the details with these cards, because I think that's going to be really cool to kind of have that little context. And we're going to do a second part about it for sure. I think we should continue on with that from here. So
sure, I can talk more about 11 in that second parter, and we can really go through my deep trauma that I should probably communicate to a therapist instead.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely do this more. We'll pick some cards here and just kind of like go to town on it. We might have a couple guests or something that I know there's a lot of people that probably want to put in their input, their content or comments about it. Yeah, we'll just go crazy with this, because I know.
Yeah, give me those Final Fantasy 8 comments.
Yeah. Final Fantasy. Yeah, let's see the hate come in. He sees it.
Oh man.
So.
I can't wait to respond.
All right. If I don't know if you want to share any social medias or whatever, but I guess you could share, where do you play Final Fantasy 14? What server you're in?
I play on the Excalibur server. My character's name is Jeryhn Asher Crown. I don't really Savage Raid or Ultimate Raid, but I do a little bit of pretty much everything else. Having a lot of fun in the Occult Crescent right now. I'm also not having a whole lot of fun making new relics. And
is that still happening? I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, new relic weapons every time. I'm a relic weapon collector in that game, so I have to get them all. And yeah, the Atma phase really did a number on me this time.
Oh no! Are we at Atma again?
Yes, we are. Your character even has like a specific reaction to the fact that Geralt tells him, "I need Atma again."
Oh no! Great. I got to get back into it. All right. Well, thanks again. Stick around on the Discord for a little bit, but as for the podcast itself, thank you all for tuning in, listening in, and catch you next time. Maybe, a second part of this. It'll be directly after this. Who knows? We'll see how it ends up. But enjoy Final Fantasy. The pre-release comes out this Friday. Check out your local game shops or local LCS. Participate in those events. You should check that out too, Jeryhn, if you want to come by. I don't know if they have enough tickets for this Friday. That's when I'll be going. Yeah,
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, pre-release starts this Friday. Actually, some places might go through the weekend. The official release of Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy set comes out on the 13th. I am in no way sponsored by anyone. I just want to help share the love of Final Fantasy and my new love of Magic the Gathering. So check those out. Thank you once again, Jared. Thank you again, Jake, who was here earlier. And appreciate everything and all the talks on this. This is really fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.